And now it's time for wrestling's hottest game show, The 30. Here's your host, referee ESO.
Hey, thank you, Joe, for that awesome intro, and welcome everybody to another edition of Pro Wrestling's #1 game show. This is The 30, where every week I ask this elite panel of wrestling experts questions. Based on their answers, I award them points, and the one with the most points at the end of the night is crowned The 30 World Champion. So this is ESO. I'm your referee. Let's get this party rolling. So first of all, to my right, he is a former The 30 champion. He's also the self-proclaimed smartest man in the room. He is Dan Sebastiano.
Hey, guys, how you doing? I'm actually going to steal some of Benny's thunder tonight, and I have my own poem.
Uh-oh.
So, here goes.
You got my attention.
We are on to 30 and ready to talk. If you aren't in our corner, then you can take a walk. The talk, smack, and wrestling, the chat is alive. This week I'll beat Benny if he doesn't start with +5.
Whoa!
Nice. Dan, I gotta get. You know what, Dan? Just on that, I gotta give you at least 3.
Come on!
Yeah,
That's
that seems fair.
I'm coming to see you this weekend, man.
I think that's fair. What's that, Phil?
I said, hey, I'm coming to see you this weekend, man.
That's right. I better be careful.
Wait, is that a promise or a threat? What was that?
A little bit of both.
So while this guy's talking, this guy to my left, he's the president of Thursday Nights. This is Mr. Phil DeCesare. What's going on, Mr.
Wrestling
President?
fans around the corner, around the world, let's get ready to rumble.
Woo! So next we have, he's not only the 30 world champion, but I guess he's now the co-poet laureate of the 30. He's the player, Benny Scala. What's up, Benny? What do you got for us?
Well, here goes, and I'm going to be the first person. I'm going to make the 30 history tonight by being the first person ever to three-peat, and I'm going to start with my poem. Now, this of the Beverly Hillbillies, and this is about our good friend Lee Cole. Here goes. Come and listen to my story about a man named Cole. He's in the picture dictionary. Just look up asshole. He spews out all his bullshit because he wants to get a bump, but he ain't nothing but a one-pump chump. Well, the first thing you know, Cole's got a bunch of sheep. They listen to his crap because they like to wade in deep. He throws his shit against the wall to see what's going to stick, but Lee ain't nothing but a sorry old limp dick.
Wow!
Ouch.
It's fighting words.
Ouch. Ouch. Guys, what do you think? How many? Do you think he deserves any bonus
Come
points
on.
that?
Yeah, poll the chat room. Come on.
Enough with the sugarcoating, Benny. Tell us how you really feel.
Poll the chat room.
That
was from Mike.
I don't have much money to spend this week. Jesus, come on.
So just because of the challenge of Dan, you know what, Benny? I'm going to give you something. Oh, let's see. I'll give you 3 too. What the heck? You tie it back up with Dan.
Fair enough.
Couple of field goals on the board.
Put a lot of time into that poem.
I want to thank Maria
Awesome
for asking
job.
for 5 points on my behalf. Thank you, Maria.
Well, if Maria's asking, you know what we got to do then.
Oh, come on, really?
I don't know. RJ said it was
I would like
Maria
everybody
saying 40. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, this is
Now
Maria.
they got
the
the
first
Listen,
lady.
this is the
Thank
first
you
lady.
so much.
This is
Really
the first lady.
appreciate
Come
it.
on, guys.
RJ
Much
likes
obliged.
it.
Wow, Maria in the house. Jeez.
Love it.
All right.
All right.
All right.
He's awesome.
And finally,
Much obliged.
listen. Finally, the last but not least, man who's never at a loss for words. This is Centerville's own What a Day, Joe Lowry. What's up, Joe?
What a day, what a day, what a day. Welcome to the 30. Hope you like that new intro. That was fun to make and all that stuff. But I don't have a poem, but I do have a saying. I used this on my show the other day. You know, remember, when life gives you melons, you might be dyslexic. Oh, come on. Really?
I get it.
Nothing on that?
That's clever.
Don't miss the dinner show.
Wait, did YouTube just censor me? What's going on here? I didn't hear
All right.
anything.
Joe,
so.
just because for the intro and for the comedy act, you're going to get 5 points to start off, too. So we've got it. This is a record
there you go.
before the
All
first
right.
round. Check out all these points on the board.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Wow.
I predict I might
Already
last
tight.
through the second round tonight. Who knows? This is great.
All right, guys. You
Yeah,
know it's
you're playing from the hole.
so listen, guys. As
What'd
you know,
you say?
As you know, it's been another crazy week in pro wrestling, so let's get this started. You guys know the rules. Lying, cheating, foreign objects, and all other distractions are allowed and encouraged. Points are given for amusing comments, trash talking, bribery via PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, and credit cards are accepted, but there is a 10% surcharge. Now, are we ready for this first question?
Freaking 10%.
Let's do it.
Do it.
All right.
All right. So let's see. WWE has supposedly struck a record-setting global partnership with Prime Beverage for an a beverage brand owned by Logan Paul and KSI. This partnership will see Prime Hydration become an exclusive hydration drink of the WWE and the first partner to ever appear on the center of a WWE ring. What do you think of this, and how do you think the branding will go? Do you think we're going to get to the point of where the wrestlers themselves are going to be sponsored? So let's see. Who do we have? Looks like Joe. Joe, you are on the 30. Let's see. For some reason, my
already?
time. Yeah, you're up. What is going on? My timer is not working for some reason. What is going on?
I'm already at 0. Did you like my response? How was it?
Oh, my timer disappeared, guys. Oh crap! And it's not coming back.
That's all right.
I'll count one Mississippi.
I got Robert Parrish numbers up there. 00.
Yeah.
The Chief.
Chief.
The
Jim
Chief.
Otto from the Oakland Raiders.
I don't know.
Who is
Look for
it?
something special in the mail, Joe.
Okay, there you go.
All right, guys.
I
Listen.
think the chief received some cannabis in the mail once upon a time.
For
Yeah, there you go.
our timer has decided.
I'll time on my phone if you want.
Yeah, let's
Wow.
see. Let's see. We're gonna have to
Wow.
do something like that. Let's see. I'm gonna have to pull out a timer.
The official presidential phone.
All right, Phil. You have that? You have a timer up already? Well, we might have to. Partner up on
yeah,
these.
I'll start it right now.
Oh, I got one.
I love
I
live
got.
TV. Anything gets
Jeez.
I'm ready.
Hey,
All right. So go.
there it is.
All right. Well, here we go. Welcome to the new era of sports entertainment. We knew when Logan Paul signed a contract with the WWE, we knew this was going to happen. It's just, I'm surprised it took this long to get Prime Beverage into the WWE mix with, of course, a nice little mat display to be shown all throughout SmackDown and all that stuff. Am I for it? Well, I'm only for it if it means that we do not get any more of those goddamn long commercial breaks on WWE programming. I say flood the mat, put every single advertisement that they have out there on that mat so we can just, for once and for all, get rid of these commercial breaks because, I'm doing my Raw recaps and they are so painful because I think it went up to 52 minutes worth of commercials this past week on Raw alone during a 3-hour broadcast. That means really outside of the matches, you got less than an hour and a half of actually in-ring competition going on. So, and I'm all for it. I like it. It does look tacky, but it's going to make the WWE stand out. I mean, AEW kind of does it already now, ringside and certain mats and so forth in the corner. So why not WWE? This is the new era of sports entertainment. We knew it was going to happen. Logan Paul, Prime. Why not have Prime Energy drink on prime time, right? I was going to come up with that. So lo and behold, we might get even a Deion Sanders sighting before I was through. But nonetheless, I'm for it. Prime Energy, welcome aboard. Hopefully we'll get some more ads on the mat and less commercials on WWE programming.
All right, where are we, Phil?
That's just about time right there.
All
I
right.
didn't even know I was keeping it, but I'm keeping it.
All
Yep.
right. Sounds good.
Good.
Sounds
Yeah.
good. Also,
Beautiful.
I managed to fix it, so we are okay.
All righty.
Oh, there you go.
Guinea pig.
Womp, 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 womp.
So next.
Phil's still going to go over anyway, so it don't matter.
Yeah, that's true. I'll keep my own time.
All right.
Oh, come
Dan.
on. Oh,
All right, let's do
Dan,
this.
You are on the
oh
30.
you're a son of a gun.
Oh,
I know
All
what
right,
you're going to say.
I can't argue too much with what Joe was saying. I think I saw it coming as soon as they pushed Prime. I mean, you remember Logan Paul's WrestleMania match? He literally had interference from a guy dressed as a Prime bottle. Unrelated side note, however, the Prime that's supposed to taste like those old rocket popsicles is actually not bad. So I'll give them
No,
that.
it's
But
really not.
if you think about the Octagon, like UFC, the big monster logo, Harley Davidson, some of the stuff that's been in the background of some of those iconic fight moments, I think having logos in the ring, while it does hurt the idea of the old school professional wrestling, if you're pushing this new TKO sports presentation, I think having a ring that looks like a sports ring, looks like a boxing ring, looks like the UFC mat, I think it'll work. I think they'll sell it. I think they'll work it. And I agree with Joe. With the logo there, you don't need the 10-minute commercials. Save that stuff for Slim Jim and the random USA Today guy winning the 24/7 title. But no, if you're gonna look at Prime, I think it's a great idea. I personally like it. I think it looks great. I think it's a good logo. It's one of the most popular selling beverages in the country, period. So it's certainly going to make some money, bring some eyes. And Logan Paul, I mean, talk about building a heel. His logo is literally in the center of the ring, whether he wins or not. He's just cutting his own promos. Look at the ring. Look at how good I am.
Oh, yeah.
Look at how awesome I am. I think there's the only way they go from here is up.
Beautiful.
Nice job, Dan. Let's see what's going on next. It looks like, Mr. President, you're going to be next down to 30. Let's just get you a timer.
Yeah, put the 5-minute timer up for Phil. There you go.
There we go. All right, Mr. President, you are on to 30.
All right. Well, I am going to beg to differ with my illustrious colleagues here. I think there's way too much commercialization right now with our beloved king of sports here. Notably, and I know this is going to be another revenue stream. I know that Logan Paul has a great deal with these guys, and he actually has some with the Lakers now. It's going to be the official drink of the LA Lakers, so he's really expanding his business empire. But to me, I mean, the question comes up, how much is too much, or how much is enough, I should say, in terms of generating revenue? I almost think this is almost a dig in a way to VKM himself. I'll just give his initials now, who was adamant against any type of advertising in the ring, viewing, again, that canvas as sacred, okay? That are, the canvas is there for art, for the art of pro wrestling, okay? The last time I saw in a WWF, and I'll call it back then, or even WWF ring, we had advertisement, was when we had Everlast turnbuckles.
Oh, yeah.
Now that gave the sport, that gave the business an air of, credibility. If Everlast is associated with wrestling, well, then, it must be something, it must be a combat sport or something. But again, when is it too much? Okay. I mean, what's next? Are they going to have these logos in the middle of the mat that change according to the wrestler? Is RVD going to come out and have like a cannabis advertisement in the center of the ring? Stan Man, are they going to resurrect him and have some Budweiser or Marlboro cigarettes there? Are we going to start advertising testosterone replacement? I mean, where does it stop? Do I stop yet? How's my timer, Bruce?
Your timer's it's over. But you're the president. We let you just keep
When
talking.
have you ever paid attention to the timer?
I can never see it. I must be timer blind here.
I already ate dinner and came back, Phil. Good job.
Walk the dog,
Fuck the dog.
Well, there's only one person
All
left
right.
to end this round, and that is the champ himself, Benny Scala. Benny, you are on to 30.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of side with Phil. I'm an old school dinosaur. I'm a traditionalist. I like the fact that my favorite team still has the name. That their field is Yankee Stadium. I thank God there's still Fenway Park and Wrigley Field. I rue the day, and I hope I don't live long enough to see when like Yankee Stadium becomes Nathan's Field. Hot Dogs decides to sponsor. I like it just the way it is. I think the wrestling ring should be left the way it is. That's fine. They want to make some additional revenue, but and I with the energy drink. But what if it's stay free maxi pads after this? I mean, is there going to be a tampon in each turnbuckle? I mean, now if we're talking woo wings, I mean, that would be an entirely different story. Then I'd be all for it. No, not really. No, I when, like Phil said, when is enough? They make plenty of money. If you want to do that, do it somewhere else. Maybe, I don't know, maybe put some kind of billboard or some, maybe even like on the side of the ring, but not, to me, like in the ring is sacred. Unless they want to put Dan and Benny in the ring. Now that would be okay.
Money in the Pharaohs in a ring.
Yeah, or Money in the Pharaoh in the ring. Sure.
Dan and Benny.
Right. But no, I think you just, there's some things that need to just be left alone. And I think the ring itself needs to be left alone.
There you go.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah, has anyone mentioned that Lava Lamp is really freaking me out? He looks like he's a scientist doing an
Ooh.
experiment while
See,
we're all
I know.
talking. It's like, woo.
I'm fine with the ring logos. I'm just worried. You remember a few years ago that Randy Orton Bray Wyatt match where they projected like the different bugs and images
yeah.
on the ring.
Oh, that was
I'm-
freaky.
I'm waiting for something like that where it'll be,
Well, look at the hot. Look,
this
Phil,
match is
well-
sponsored by Snickers, and it'll
Well,
just be.
yeah, well, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking you're going to have the Snickers guy versus
Oh, yeah.
versus
that'll happen.
Slim Jim Knight, or
Or the Doritos against the cannabis company. Yeah.
Oh, well, wait till the pharmaceuticals get on board with all this stuff. I could just see that
I
happening.
know, right?
oh, they're
We're gonna
already
have
on
the-
board. It's just they're on board on the other side.
We're gonna
Right,
have
more
the Hell
embarrassing
the Cell
ED stuff.
Ozempic match and things like that. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's crazy. I mean, look at the NHL right now. The boards now have
Yeah.
moving advertising. I can't stand. I'm watching Bruins games,
Right.
and it's
Distracting.
the ice
Wrestlers-
changing.
wrestlers-
It
gonna
is.
start-
It is.
Wrestlers are going to start coming out in singlets that look like
Yeah,
NASCAR
yeah.
jumpsuits.
Oh yeah, yep. It'll
Well,
happen.
Brock had the Jimmy John's thing in his trunks for years, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep, that's right.
He was a walking advertisement.
Yeah, why not? Remember the boxes used to write their stuff on? They used to write their ads on with the black markers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And some of them got smart. Were using regular markers and they'd be sweating off by the 10th round. But then they finally get smart. And you started using permanent ink markers. So we're heading there soon enough. Soon enough.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's get on to the next question. So WWE has announced a few more names for this year's Hall of Fame. The U.S. Express, Barry Windham and Mike Rotundo, Muhammad Ali, Leah Maivia, and Thunderbolt Patterson. So far, there has been a very mixed reception to the candidates of this year's class. How do you feel about them so far? Do you think any of these candidates would be honored if Vince McMahon were still in charge? So let's see. Who do we have first? Looks like Dan.
Oh,
Dan, you are first on the 30 here. So Dan, let's go.
all right. I haven't seen anybody yet that I think would be blocked by Vince McMahon, from what I understand. But I agree, this class is incredibly underwhelming, and I was really hoping for a home run because this is TKO's first class. This is the first non-Vince McMahon class, and it's really been more of a fart and a whimper than anything. I mean, we talked about it on a previous show. Bull Nakano, Paul Heyman, I agree, fine, but Maivia, I mean, let's be honest. If The Rock wasn't on the board, would she be anywhere near this? Probably not. I mean, regardless of her influence in the business, probably not. We talked about it on the Dan and Benny page. Old Thunderfoot is your Thunder Boy is a pain in the ass with a bad reputation for being a pain in the ass. Not really somebody that screams, "Holy shit, this guy's got me. He's one of the best." Unfortunately, and we've had people on Dan and Benny that have talked about it. He had a bad reputation for holding back other people of color in a business when most territories only had one or two.
Yeah.
And I mean, not really a Hall of Fame talent. As for Wyndham, the U.S. Express, I mean, I can think of a dozen tag teams I put in first. I'm guessing it's a lost in translation somewhere. They wanted Bray Wyatt. They said, we're going to put in Wyndham Rotunda, and somebody just sent out the letter to the wrong Wyndham Rotunda. But no, I mean, come on. How do you put the U.S. Express in a Hall of Fame that Demolition's not in yet, or any of the other teams that meant so much more to the company?
Yeah, good one. That was good.
Great job.
That was
Great
good.
job. I did like that Wyndham Rotunda comment. That was good.
Wyndham Rotunda.
Let's see. Who do we have next on the 30? It looks like Phil.
Phil.
You are up. You ready?
I see the clock. I better not ignore it. Yep.
There you go.
All right, I got to go to the drive-thru. I'll be right back.
Get me something. First of all, we'll talk about Leah Maivia. First real woman promoter. I know Ann Gunkel down in Georgia. Really, she assumed the role after her husband died. Leah, of course, thankless job, very tough job down there in the islands. And again, she was so tough that her husband Peter feared her. Okay, in fact, I think she's put a whooping on him before. So, and would she be in if The Rock weren't on the board? I think she would be in, but maybe not so soon. So I can understand that. Hawaii's been an interesting place. It was the place really where they organized talent. I know Lord James Blears before Leah would be sending American talent over to Japan, building them up and building the relationships with Japan. So Hawaii was a very important territory. I agree with Dan. You know, the letter went out, maybe Wyndham and Rotunda, and maybe it was just Wyndham Rotunda listed, and for some reason they threw the conjunction and in there, and then all of a sudden, okay, let's induct the U.S. Express. You know, and again, there were other teams who have been there longer, more deserving. Demolition certainly amongst them. But Wyndham Rotunda had many characters too, so they deserve to get their, I'll say it again, their flowers, if I can be so cool. So I think it's great. And I think generally speaking, most of the other selections were spot on. I do think the class should be expanded, though, of course, because of TKO's involvement and because of the fact many of these people are dying off. So we need to expand the class. I argue for more people inducted. So.
Wow, he ended on time, guys. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow, not bad, not bad.
Yeah, baby.
Let's see who we got next.
Monty's in the house. Mike Monty's in the house.
Uh-oh.
In the house.
Uh-oh.
But guys, look busy. The boss is watching.
Right. Nice. Nice. So we got a bar burner here. So Benny, it looks like it's your turn. You're on to 30.
And go. All right, so once again, the WWE has, at least so far, shat the bed with their Hall of Fame inductions. Yesterday, it was announced that Thunderbolt Patterson will be inducted with the class of 2024. Now, I have zero problem with Thunderbolt Patterson being inducted. He's definitely a legendary wrestler, wrestled in many territories, main eventer, won numerous singles and tag team titles. Most definitely well-deserved. But once again, where is the honor that the Russian Bear Ivan Koloff so richly deserves? The poor man went to be with the Lord a few years ago, and he scored what, in my opinion, was the most shocking and significant victory in the history of professional wrestling when he pinned Bruno Sammartino in the middle of the ring, ending Bruno's almost 8-year reign as WWF champion. And, you know, he did a lot more than that. He wasn't a one-trick pony. He won gold everywhere. You know, he won enough gold to occupy a wing in Fort Knox. And in his later life, he became a minister and tried to help others find their way in life. I mean, this was a wonderful man who was both loved and respected by all his peers, especially Bruno, who was his arch rival. And, you know, how this man could be ignored year after year after year, just a fucking shame, in my opinion. Now, some say they had money disputes with Vince Sr. Well, let me tell you about a guy named Babe Ruth. You may have heard of him, who once held his manager, Miller Huggins, out of a moving train by his ankles. I don't think, you know, and I think if you do take a trip to Cooperstown, he's front and center. Now, you know, Koloff did nothing remotely as bad as this. So kudos to T-Bolt, kudos to Liam Maivia, but I'm sorry, you know, until a wrong is righted, this is bullshit.
All right, listen, Benny, you got penalized 2 points there because you brought up Ivan Koloff for, I believe it's the 42nd consecutive week.
Well, I mean, it's like the preacher who, like, you know, they asked him, when are you going to stop preaching the same sermon? And he said, well, when they get it right.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go. That damn lava lamp's killing me.
It's a foreign object. It's a distraction.
All right, Joe, it's your turn on this question. You ready?
I guess, yeah, always ready. I guess.
Let's go. Joe's always
All right, yeah.
ready.
Underwhelming, Dan's words. I totally agree. Underwhelming class of 2024 Hall of Fame inductees. Still scouring the internet. I do not know Leah Maivia is officially going into the WWE Hall of Fame. We've heard reports. We've heard this. We've heard that. The dirt sheets are jumping on this, but as of WWE right now, there is no confirmation that she is going into the Hall of Fame. That could change tonight, tomorrow, momentarily, but there's nothing official on that. But I do know what everybody's saying. The Rock's influence heavily involved in this year's Hall of Fame inductions. You know, let's not forget now, we have the whole thing was headlined by the first inductee announcement of Paul Heyman. So he's actually headlining this class. What do we expect from here on out? There was a report that just came out yesterday, I do believe, that Triple H is still following the orders of Vince McMahon on the Hall of Fame side of things, where it has to be one African-American wrestler and one female wrestler. So we've covered that with Thunderbolt Patterson, of course, Bull Nakano. The rest, I don't know. It's all slush puppies, if you ask me. The U.S. Express, very influential back in the day. I get it, but Barry Windham's already in there. He's already in that. You know what I mean? So Paul Heyman, the only controversy that's going to surround this right now is I honestly agree that Brock Lesnar is going to be the one to induct Paul Heyman into the WWE Hall of Fame. It's going to be on Peacock. Heyman's going in last. It's going to be well after 11 o'clock. People are going to stay up late, all that good stuff. So that's probably the only exciting part of this year's Hall of Fame class. Doesn't matter.
I think it's safe to say Lesnar's speech will be shitty.
Or pissy.
Oh, yeah. We got a barn burner.
We got a barn burner. Listen, guys, we got to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're gonna talk about some more current events of the current wrestling scene. We'll be right back.
What's his history class?
And APB, American Protection Bureau, voted #1 best on Long Island for all your security needs. Call 631-390-9050. That's 631-390-9050. APB.
You need a body shop? You need engine repair? Auto Excellence, Collision Specialists, 631-261-6420. That's 631-261-6420. Auto Excellence. Jimmy, I gotta take a dump.
What?
No, I mean I need a dumpster.
Well, for all those needs, you need to call Big V Dumpster Rental, Long Island, New York, 631-900-DUMP. Elm Logistics, for all your logistic needs. Call 631-299-3595. That's 631-299-3595. Elm Global Logistics. Pride, performance, and partnerships.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to The 30. That's right, wrestling's hottest game show. Thank you all for joining us live. And if you're watching on the replay, also a very special thank you to everybody in the chat tonight. You guys are rocking and rolling there. And as always, throw us some dog bones there and give us some points, will you? That always works out. But ESO, the referee, how's your Venmo account doing? You doing all right tonight?
This week's been a little bit slow, but hey, you never know. It's we're getting to the championship round.
I'm in last place here.
I'm going to give you some untraceable cash, Bruce, when I see you. Okay, no service charge.
It's the time change. We're all screwed up still. It's the time change.
I get it. Well, listen, Benny, we got to get you some points going because this is an elimination question. So somebody is out after this round.
Oh man.
So Benny,
I'll have to rise to the occasion. That's what she said.
All right. Well, this one's going to be an interesting one. This is a unique question. We're trying something a little different. So, from Mercedes Moné's not so surprising debut for AEW to John Cena's performance at the Oscars, wrestling's always been an interesting genre of entertainment. What did you think of these two contrasting events? Break them down a little bit, and which is going to be more important to pro wrestling's history? So, Mr. President.
Oh, no, really?
Oh, yeah. You are on to 30. Go.
Well, obviously, two contrasting events. One, to me, was visually appealing. That would be the last night's event in Boston, whereas the Oscar event, again, I think probably for the first time in history, save for the streaker that, ironically, 46 years ago, which is when John Cena was yet an infant,
50 years ago. 50
graced the stage. I think it was 46 years ago during the event. But anyway, John Cena always says, "You can't see me." Well, I dare say we saw more of him on that stage than we've ever in his career. And, I had a good mind to text Mr. Cena and inquire as to his thoughts and what's going on there. But cool event, will be remembered for sure. Didn't hear the crowd because I didn't actually see it in real time, but I did watch last night Mercedes debut in Boston, and I felt the local color. I scanned the crowd, seeing if I knew anybody in there. I didn't recognize anybody, but I think it was a pretty memorable moment. I think it was an emotional moment. She was legitimately touched by the adulation. And her personal story about her brother and how she got into the business. Her shout out to Chaotic Wrestling in North Andover, really cool. So for me personally, because of that, and again, they're both local talents. So They're both from the area, which is totally cool, from the Bay State, baby. So both very memorable for different reasons. Emotionally speaking, Mercedes Moné did it for me.
Nice. All right, Mr. President. So 40, that's definitely a catch-all. That was not the greatest round, but it was okay. So let's see. What do we got? Looks like Benny. Benny, this is your chance to do it. If you can get 15 points, you punch your card into the next round. So let's see. Benny, you are on the 30.
I don't know what I'm going to be punching. I don't think it's my card because I got nothing on this one. I didn't see the Oscars. I mean, I know that Cena was. What did he have? Like an envelope or something in front of his groin there. But why did he even do that? I don't get it. I mean, he's done everything else. Why not do that? But and I am not a fan of Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné, whatever the hell you call her. I think she is the most overrated professional wrestler of all time. She is always hurt, or she always hurts someone. She's got that annoying voice that makes me want to bang my head on something. To pay her, I mean, now I get it. The fact that she made her debut in Boston, which is her hometown, I totally get that. Or, I mean, it's supposed to kayfabe her hometown. It really isn't, right? I think she's from California, actually. But I get all of that. I mean, got the hometown pop and all that stuff. And, but, $4.5 million for this woman. What is she going to do? I don't think
over 10.
I think it's $4.5 million a year for 3 years, so $13.5 million in total or something like that. But
wow.
I've paid $120 last week for an electric guitar because that is my new. Eventually, I will play under 30. But Tony Khan, his $4.5 million is the equivalent of me spending $120. He just likes to collect things.
Nice job,
It's an
player.
expensive collection. Yeah.
So what kind of guitar did you get there? I saw it looked like a Telecaster, but a
I don't know. It was
semi-acoustic.
whatever was on sale on Amazon. I just wanted to,
Well, be
see if I
careful.
could play
Make
it
sure
now.
you get it set up right, because that's what I always find with those weird off brands. They're never set up right.
Right.
So, let me know whenever you want to play. I've got my guitars in the other room.
All right. Yeah, there we go.
I play a little bit of
Seven
rhythm,
to
but that's
30.
about it. Nothing. Don't expect anything like you're going to see from Wisteria Hall. So let's see. So what do we got? So we got
the chat is rocking tonight. The chat is rocking.
Yeah, chat's going crazy. Look at all those names.
So it looks like Joe.
Bum, bum, bum. Yeah.
Joe,
What's the
look-
question again? Jesus, I
Okay. From Mercedes,
John Cena versus
Mercedes
Moné, is that what
Moné,
we're
John
talking
Cena, both kind of weird things that have happened in the wrestling world that aren't really wrestling related, and wrestling's kind of known for that type of stuff. And which one of these do you think is going to be more important to wrestling history? So let's go, Joe. You're on to 30.
Yeah, I was going to save this for later, but I'm going to give you my Sasha Banks rant right now. We all know first off, we know John Cena, the streaker. By the way, Phil, April 2nd, 1974, David Niven was given a speech, and Robert Oler jumped across the stage and did his streaking thing. So just
50
a little
years.
50 years. So anyways, she's back. That's right. It's finally over. Monet for Nothing is what I billed this one. The old Dire Straits song. The worst kept secret in pro
Nice
wrestling.
Straits. Yeah, nice reference.
Yeah,
The worst
that's not
secret in pro wrestling was finally unveiled this week at AEW Dynamite, as Mercedes Moné is now all elite. Now she arrived in Mercedes, and of course, no pun intended there, and dressed as she just stepped off the movie set of Shaft. I was not impressed. Moné was finally in front of a camera on U.S. soil for the first time in over 2 years, and of course, her friends from WWE were high above ringside. Bayley, Naomi, and Tamina were there. It was a feel-good moment for all of 30 seconds. That's right. Months of hype, months of tease, and it all led us to Boston, Mass for big business. The debut of the CEO as their speakers throughout the TD Garden roared the three-letter acronym to remind everyone of Mercedes' new nickname. And it became apparently clear that Moné missed her time in the spotlight more than the fans did. After what seemed like an awkward Elaine Bendis-type dance, Moné then went on to cut a promo that seemed to last forever. Yeah, she thanked Chaotic Wrestling and so forth, but she also mentioned that she main evented a major pay-per-view for another company. How come she didn't mention WWE? MJF does. So now that the CEO is now in the AEW, what's next? Well, I'll tell you, pro wrestling fans are smart. They know exactly what's next, and that's nothing but more hype. The talented 32-year-old star who should be in the prime of her career will now be setting her sights on a gal named Willow. Oh, my God. She'll now be
Well, at least we know what's not next is you ending on time.
I'm just going to be one more thing. We're going to find out real soon. Tony Khan may have dug deep into his daddy's pockets for this one, but he better dig even deeper to make sure that the new CEO creates big business, or this is going to be one big bust. Done.
Joe's been hanging out with me.
Yeah, apparently.
I was gonna, you just took all of that time Phil took back that he's taken like the past 5 episodes.
I got weeks for that.
Did he take a
Dan,
breath?
he almost took part of your time out there. So,
I need
but,
water.
Apparently, I got to be careful now. I only get like 9 seconds, don't I?
Cut me, Mick. Cut me. Cut me,
let's
Mick.
go,
Cut
Dan.
me.
Well, look, I'm gonna start by disagreeing with the president. He talked about how things look, and I'll tell you who looked better, and that's John Cena. And I don't mean that in like a holy shit, look at that guy. I mean, he is 46 years old after having spent 20 years in a business that destroys bodies, and he's on stage looking like that. Unrelated side note, apparently executives were worried that it wouldn't cover enough, and there was a debate about whether or not he needed a bigger envelope. So good job on Cena on that one. As for Mercedes Moné, apparently there are rumblings that her segment may have spiked over 1 million, but that Dynamite averaged 801,000, which is down from its average. And by the way, her YouTube video, 8 million views in the first 12 hours compared to 45 million in the first 12 hours for the debut of John Cena, and more than 20 million in the first 12 hours for the debut of Adam Copeland. So she's not even the biggest debut anybody cares about. Oh, by the way, she also, that episode where she debuted was also the in-ring Dynamite debut of Okada. I can't say in-ring debut because apparently he wrestled on a Saturday show that everyone seems to have forgotten about. But no, is Mercedes Moné going to move a needle? Absolutely not. You guys remember a few shows ago, I went into a rant where I said no in a dozen different languages. That's what's going to happen with Mercedes Moné. It's going to fizzle out. Maybe she goes after Toni Storm. Fun side note, Toni Storm's last WWE match was against Sasha Banks. Yep. So there might be something there. Who knows? But a save Willow Nightingale, cut a promo about a brother, and then be forgotten about. She'll fall by the wayside because AEW's women's division is garbage.
Wow. Ooh. Shit up.
Fire.
Out. Benny. For the shoot.
Benny.
I love that.
Benny.
Looks like I'm doing the Johnny Canine this week from Moldavia, hitting the bricks.
Oh, the champ just got ousted.
Yeah, no three-peat, I guess.
Wow.
I got to take that belt away from you. It's going to be put.
He didn't hit send on the Venmo, did he? He didn't hit send on the Venmo.
Wow. That last question did me, and I did not expect that one.
Yeah. It's the damn lava lamp, man. You got to do something with that.
It is, yeah.
We will no longer be able to see you, but we can hear you. So feel free to chime in.
All right. Good luck, guys.
Wow.
Bye, champ.
All righty.
Win one for the stripper.
The player.
All right, now that Benny's been eliminated, the next question we're going to talk about Ivan Koloff. And
all right, listen, guys. So the WWE WrestleMania card is shaping up with now Gunther Zane being announced, the 6-pack ladder match, the Usos, all added this week. Breaking down the card, is there anything that you were really looking forward to, planning on taking a bathroom break during, or scratching your head on why the hell are they doing that? So let's see. Dan, looks like you're going to be first up on the 30. So
last up, first up. I like it.
Let's see. So go.
All right. Honestly, as much as I'm not a big fan of the multi-man matches, I really think the 6-pack 12-man ladder match for the tag titles has the opportunity to be really good because they have a lot of good tag teams that could settle this. And I also think my prediction is it's what they're going to use to split the titles. There's going to be 2 men on the ladder, and each one of them is going to come down with one colored belt, and that'll be how they divide it. That's what I think is going to happen. As for the Intercontinental title match, I get that Sammy's over, but he's not the best story you could tell Gunther. And I don't know if it was on purpose or not, but Chad Gable's shoulders were not down in that pin. So who knows? Maybe they finagle something in there and do a triple threat because really Chad Gable, the story they built up over the last 6 months, he needs to be the one to beat Gunther, or at least to win the title. And if you make it a triple threat match, Gunther can lose the title without getting pinned and still be a heavyweight challenger when he gets out. As for some of the other matches, I think Jimmy and Jay is going to be great. Only the 3rd time in WrestleMania history, Blood Brothers have actually wrestled, which is great. I mean, that's always a story in itself. Those two can go. You've got both women's title matches booked. I'm looking forward to Bayley. I really think she's going to do her Bayley Buddy nice, kind entrance, and her winning the title is going to be huge. I hope that she does. Women's side, Becky and Rhea are going to tear the house down like they always do. Cody main eventing 2 WrestleManias. The Rock now having main evented a night of WrestleMania in 4 different decades. That's impressive. I'm really looking forward to the weekend. It's going to be a great show.
Nice job.
Good.
Nice job.
Good stuff. Whoa, look at that score. Damn.
Whoa.
54.
Yeah,
Teddy
it's gonna be-
Bruschi's number.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one to beat, but let's see. Mr. President, it's your turn.
Oh God, really? I think I need to get on some speed after Dan's incredible performance.
Speed is
I
You
know
know,
a guy. I know a
I
guy.
don't mean that. I certainly don't mean to allege Dan is into any ergogenic aids or anything here. But I'm starting. Jeez, oh man, looking forward to the tag match on Saturday night for sure. And again, we see Roman so infrequently. I can't wait to see him and actually to see him do double duty. And again, if ever there was a card that is, I think, more unpredictable, I think, than in recent years, it's this one right here. And I really think that the Bloodline story is the ultimate, obviously, and should be the main event and should highlight each night in terms of where most of the emphasis is placed. Full disclosure, I want to see Seth go down, and I think it's Drew's time, and that would be wonderful. And I think that story in itself might play a part in the main event. Somehow I think there's going to be more interconnection between matches than typically there has been. The ladder match, that sort of thing, that whole and again, the card is changing so much that it's so hard to keep up. I want to see that 6-person battle too. I mean, that's definitely going to be crazy. And whenever you involve so many people in the ring at one time, there's bound to be a little bit of disaster. And you know what? I can't help but think there's going to be. All in all, I think it's great. Are there any matches that I'm not looking forward to seeing? I don't know. I haven't seen Sami Zayn all that much, and I can't envision a situation where he is going to come out on top. But again, damn. See, I'm going to stop on time. All
Get the
right.
hell out. Get the hell out now.
It's time for me.
Yeah, y'all got any more of those seconds?
Nice.
Oh,
So what do we
God.
got? We got, looks like the last one up on this round is Joe. Joe, you are on the 30.
All right, going down the WrestleMania card. I think there's going to be some title changes. I think Io Sky will drop the belt to Bayley that night. Rhea Ripley, she the passing of the torch here. I think the man is going to pass the torch to Rhea, and Rhea's going to get the win on that one. Sami Zayn and Gunther, I don't know. I'm just not. Sami Zayn is not the guy to disrupt Gunther's reign. I think something's going to happen there. It might not even be Sami Zayn, based on some of the feedback he's gotten on social media. Even he's kind of bummed out at the fact that the fans aren't behind him on this one. The Undisputed Tag Team Championship ladder match, I could care less at this point, because the only thing I thought Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis were going to do on Monday night with that huge announcement was to say that they're splitting up the tag team belts again. So the Raw go back to Raw, SmackDown belts go back to SmackDown. I don't see why they don't do that. As for the big ones, night one, The Rock, Roman Reigns, Cody and Seth. Of course, Cody and Seth will probably prevail. That way the Bloodline stays out of the action on Sunday night. And of course, the junkie Seth Rollins will lose to Drew McIntyre, which will cause Seth to go off the rails. And of course, he'll interfere in the Roman Reigns Cody Rhodes match, costing Cody Rhodes to finish his story. And I think to throw the wrench on top of that, somewhere in WrestleMania, I do believe, and it's probably a night too, that Damian Priest cashes in his Money in the Bank contract and really disrupts the whole process of what's going to happen with this Bloodline feud and Cody Rhodes and all that stuff. So the big match that I'm really looking forward to, that nobody's mentioned at all, that I stay up the night before and I pray and I hope and I can't wait to see this match and I'm all excited, is the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. We didn't talk about that one. Baron Corbin might even make a comeback and try to become like a 3-peat champion of the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. But those are my predictions for WrestleMania. The card is shaping up to be a good one.
I don't know. They haven't announced
All right.
either of them or the
All
women's
right.
battle royal, but they have 4 hours of pre-show, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
So I
That's
hate to
usually
say
during
it,
the first night.
Mr. President, we got to say goodbye to you on this round. We'll still be
No.
able to hear you, but you're
So
gone.
close.
Brother, I'm gonna-
All right,
I'm
guys.
gonna go
So
to
we
Wow.
got
Well,
to.
let's
We're
make
running out,
Good
getting low on.
effort.
We're getting low on time, guys. So for this last round, I'm only going to give you a minute to answer. But
Uh-oh.
unfortunately, this question,
Lightning round.
I wrote this question thinking Benny was going to make it to the finals, because I know he had some good stuff on this one, but unfortunately he didn't make it. But it's down to you
Ivan
two
Koloff,
guys.
here we go.
So let's see. Let me just let me reset your numbers here. We've got Dan. Get him down to a 0. And we've got Joe.
0.
0.
Dun dun dun.
All right. So Joe, it looks like you're going to be going first this round. So this past Monday on Raw, Michael Cole sat down with Cody Rhodes to discuss his story. What do you think of this segment and all the emotions that were involved? Joe, you are first this round on the 30.
Man.
And go.
Out of all the stuff to say, oh my God. Well, yeah, Cody Rhodes sat down with Michael Cole and did the old, switcheroo. The storyline is switching because the story is now switching. He wasn't really talking about winning titles and championships. He says the story is now about the fans. That almost smells like a heel change to me if it's going to be about the fans now. But nonetheless, and he did end up crying. So the Cody Crybabies got what they want. They saw Cody Rhodes cry. So, hey, what the heck, right? I think this whole thing, the whole Raw episode to me, as after watching it, was one big filler episode. So this is really that lull between the storms that are coming with SmackDown and, of course, the WrestleMania event. Nothing really big here. I think the storyline is changing for Cody Rhodes because I think the screw is in. I think he's not going to win the title. I think something horrific's going to happen. Maybe even Brock Lesnar will show up. Who knows? But I'm not buying it. The story's changing. The storyline's changing. His story's changing. I don't know. At this point, you might as well throw out the book and start writing a new one.
Nice job, Joe. Nice job.
Nice job.
Don't forget, it was only a minute, so the score
Freaking
reflects
9.
that. Well, you only had a minute there, so it wasn't like.
What's 30 seconds gonna do?
Oh, Dan, let's see if you can pull this off. You got 30. You got a minute to beat.
He's gonna get
9
an 8.
points.
8.7.
All right, Dan, you are on the 30.
Yeah, I appear to be the only one. I'm the odd man out here. I think Cody is going to beat Roman on Sunday. I think they're going to lose the tag match, whether Seth screws him or whether The Rock comes out or some shenanigans, just to put it even more on Cody's shoulders. So when he finally beats Roman, he is the conquering hero 18 different ways. This promo, I think the crying was a bit much, but he had the crowd in his hand in a way you have not seen in a long, long time from a face. You see popular heels, you see cool heels, LA Knight getting people to shout, yeah, but Cody had them in his palm of his hand. It was a great segment for that. I think the crying was a bit much. I think it drew out. Joe was 100% right. This last Raw was an embarrassment as far as like a Raw before a pay-per-view that's WrestleMania. But no, I think what you're looking at here is they are building Cody as the big sympathetic superhero that is going to have to conquer the day, because if Cody loses on Sunday against Roman, you might as well burn the building down. It is over. They talk about strike while the iron is hot, strike while it's cold. It's over.
Nice.
Nice job. Joe, I'm sorry. Yeah, Joe, I'm sorry, but yeah, you gotta give it to him.
I don't care.
You got to give it to him. Dan, let me present you with your title. Hang on one second.
All right, well done.
Congratulations,
show,
young
guys.
man.
Yep.
There we go. We'll put it right around his waist there.
Rudy Diamond again. I'm the Rudy Diamond of it all.
If you're going to put it around my waist, make sure you take it out a buckle or two, because
That's why they use Velcro now.
wait, hang on. Let me do the.
All right, we'll bring Phil back. So yeah, nice job, guys. That was a lot of fun. We didn't get time to squeeze in that second commercial break, but that's okay. But hey, listen, we got about a minute and a half left. Why don't we go around and plug out what we got going on this week? Joe, what's going on with down there in Centerville?
Centerville. Well, nothing's really going on in Centerville.
How did the nude bowling go?
The nude bowling was really good. It's actually coming up in April, but researching that story, there's tons of nude bowling events all over the U.S. So this was just one of them. But what's coming up? Wrestling Remembered Friday, 6:30 Central, 7:30 on the East Coast. And don't forget a new show alert Sunday night. It's the Ridiculous Recap Show with yours truly. We get surprises, we get guests, we get the week in review. And you're going to tune in for that. That's already set up on the Morning the Pharaoh YouTube channel. So we'll see you Sunday night as well.
Hey, player, what do you got going on?
All right. Well, on Monday night, we will have a very compelling episode of True Crime with the Bad Girl and the Player. We're going to be chatting about the Menendez brothers, which once again are back in the news. So don't miss that. And then Dan and Benny in the ring on Tuesday, which
Nice.
I'll leave for Dan.
Hey, champ. You got anything to add there?
Yeah, like Benny said, we got a lot of good stuff coming up. Dan and Benny in the ring. We just, due to technical difficulties, this week's episode was uploaded late, uploaded today. It is a digital remaster of our first interview with George Pontus, famous photographer, videographer, Mid-Atlantic promoter. Really, the popularity of that episode is the reason Dan and Benny is still on the callback. We recorded it 3 years ago this week, and I uploaded the digital remaster. So a lot of good stuff coming up. But Dan and Benny in the rings, chugging along strong. We got a lot of great stuff.
Nice.
Digitally remastered for your viewing pleasure.
It's crazy
Well,
how much better
another
sound software gets
plug for
with
Dan and
3 years.
Benny on as of Tuesday, we were number 42 in Great Britain in wrestling podcasts, and I think we were number 88 in Ireland. So we cracked the top 100 in two different countries.
And,
Nice
and we're
job.
still charging. We're still chugging along. Jim Cornette threw the gauntlet down for us charting in Malta. Hasn't happened yet, but we're gonna get there. We're gonna.
Nice.
Cornette
Maybe
said we
with
can chart
George,
in Malta.
we'll pop the Greek shorts.
So
I think Ivan Koloff would be very proud, Benny.
And Baron Miguel Cicluna, too, from
Aaron
Malta.
Miguel
Yeah.
Cicluna, that's right.
So, Mr. President,
Nice.
what's going on with you? I know you're coming down to New York this weekend.
Coming down, baby. Yeah, we're going to do a little man on the street type of thing, you and me, Bruce, walking around and, putting the microphone at people and doing a little jaw jacking and a little hobnobbing, a little glad handing and meeting some celebs.
Yeah,
Stick it
Sounds
in the
good,
face.
man.
Stick
So,
it in the face.
if you are in the Long Island area in Suffolk County, please feel free to stop by and see Phil and I at the big event,
Long
New York.
Island.
And also at the table, we will have Michael Monty and Eric Sims. And I will personally get you, Phil, to sign an
what the hell's
autograph.
going on here?
Running a schmoz.
Oh my God! Somebody got in trouble. What happened?
Phil's going to be signing autographs at the table for the extremely low price of free. So,
I might be paying people.
but listen,
For a dollar.
Complimentary.
listen, it's 8:00. We got to get on out of here and let the other guys jump on.
I think we have a little bit of time, don't we, Mike?
He's holding.
Yeah.
Yes.
We can hear you.
Okay.
Oh,
Well,
keep it
un-
going.
Sounds
New
good.
Studio Blue.
Let me
Studio.
see if I can.
Right.
Hey, at least you have some luck, right? That's the thing.
Unrelated side note. I do, we talk a lot about wrestling and combat sports. If you guys hadn't seen the story, special shout out to Mark Coleman. After
Yes.
the first ever heavyweight champion, after they divided the weight classes, currently in the hospital, ran back into a burning building twice to save his
Save his
parents
parents.
from a
Yeah,
house
yeah.
fire.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
And I mean, unfortunately, anybody that has a pet knows. Unfortunately, couldn't quite get the dog on the third try, collapsed from the smoke. But he looks like it's going to come around and recover nicely. His wife posted
amen.
something earlier that he's in good spirits, but worse for wear. But I
Yeah.
mean, to go back into a burning building more than once and save people is impressive. So good for him.
Beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Heroic.
hammer, baby.
Absolutely.
I remember that. I saw that. Yeah.
Did Phil have a beard back then, or was he clean shaven? Oh.
I've been tripped. Hey, this is the first time I've heard from our dear leader in a while. I don't know. Maybe a little more. What do you think? Should I? Yeah.
We're
Shave
Like
up? Like you guys
man.
are shaving, or are you gonna?
You heard him, guys. We're adopting the Yankees rules. Everybody's clean
there you
shaven.
No facial
Wow.
there.
And Benny, get a haircut.
Those sideburns would never be allowed, man.
No, not at all.
He's awesome.
Who's gonna be there? Baron von Raschke?
No, Kevin Von Erich.
I saw the hand coming at me. I'm like, what?
Definitely Kevin Von Erich.
Yeah, what's up with that? That's insane. $500.
I can't believe it. I wouldn't even give her the time of day, man. Honestly.
What?
What?
That's nuts. That's just.
You know, it would be great if no one was in line. Wouldn't that be great?
The sad
Oh.
Virgil picture of her sitting by herself.
Wow. I don't know. Oh yeah, that's true. Mike, I thought of you last night. I thought of you when Mercedes.
Hi.
Right on the ramp. Right on the ramp. I'm like,
Oh,
Mike's gonna
Wait
be
a minute,
so mad.
Bruce. You know what? To make you guys jealous, Phil, you, me, and Bruce have to get a picture with Sky Blue.
Yes,
Absolutely.
You
absolutely.
gonna be there? Nice.
We got to get a picture with
There
her.
you
Got to
go.
go with Sky Blue. It's Kevin Von Erich, Sky Blue, and
Wow.
I got to definitely get pictures with Christy McNichol.
Yeah.
Christy
How about
McNichol.
JJ? How about JJ Evans?
Yeah,
JJ Evans?
Right?
Oh my God.
definitely. I would know. I want all three of the good times.
What
You got
Thelma
event
and
are you
Michael.
guys going to
Thelma.
that's got Stacy Keebler and Christy McNichol?
Wait,
Yeah.
also they have what's her name from
Mickey
One Day at a Time.
Duscanero? Happy
One Day
Days
at a
of
Time.
Fonz?
Oh yeah.
Mackenzie
Mackenzie
Phillips.
Phillips. Yes.
I'm getting a
Really?
picture of Mackenzie
Wow.
Phillips, too.
Wow.
Damn.
Are they billing her under the One Day at a Time moniker? Are they doing that?
I'm
With
not
her?
sure. I'm not
No?
sure,
Okay.
Joe. But I will tell you who will be there is fan Michael Fenster, and
Oh
he'll
yeah.
be chasing me around the whole big event. I gotta get out of there.
Will what's his name be there? Lee Cole.
No, Lee Cole won't be there, but he'll have his usual 300 fans in every video he puts up.
Oh Jesus.
When do you think that will end?
Yeah. And when
'Cause
the,
I can't take much more, to be honest with you.
well, he probably has 300 pieces of electronics in his house that he lights up every time he's on the air. So that's probably what he does. So when the bill comes due for those products, he's probably he won't last long. So
I don't know, man. You know,
I hope you heard my poem tonight.
No, I didn't
Yeah.
hear it. Can you?
No, I'm saying I hope he heard it.
Can I play it again before?
He wants to hear it
before-
again.
Want me to do it again?
Yeah.
Do it.
All right, here we go. And it's to the tune of the Beverly Hillbillies. Come and listen to my story about a man named Cole. He's in the picture dictionary. Just look up asshole. He spews out all his bullshit because he wants to get a bump, but he ain't nothing but a one-pump chump. Well, the first thing you know, Cole's got a bunch of sheep. They listen to his crap because they like to wade in deep. He throws his shit against the wall to see what's going to stick, but he ain't nothing but a sorry old limp dick.
Nice.
Wow.
I'm cutting that video and putting
Yeah.
that up. By the way, you know that.
And I got 3 freaking points for that.
You should have got 20. Where's Bruce? I'm gonna get.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, the referee's getting yelled
As
at now. Nice.
Davey
Nice.
Boy Smith would say, I got fooked.
Hey,
All
we
right,
have,
guys. I don't know if we're gonna be able to get either show off the ground now. So just
You're
so
kidding
somebody
me.
can get disconnected.
We got to do
Wow.
what was it? I'm trying to remember his name now. I'm drawing a blank.
Jimmy
The
Farrow.
old authority figure. You know.
Bischoff? Who?
Jack Tunney.
Thank you, Tunney. Yeah, where he would come out and he would, oh, something's about to get serious. But I know you got screwed, but the ref's decision stands. It's our
Yeah.
policy. So next week we'll have another match.
That's pretty good. All
I'm
right,
waiting-
guys.
I'm waiting for instant
We lost
replay.
Barry Lawler. Then Jimmy's flight gets canceled.
You're kidding me.
Yeah,
Wow.
so-
Jimmy's still in Florida?
That sucks.
all right, man. I'm gonna check out, but more than likely, everybody that's waiting tonight, just I don't think we'll have shows tonight. We can't get this off the ground. I just
So
wanted
you
to
need
get
me to jump off the stream key so you can use it?
Okay, goodbye. No, I won't. Thanks, though. Bye.
See ya.
Wow.
Mm.
Technical
Well,
difficulties, folks.
Slightly after 8:00, I gotta go. My
All right,
wife's
so
out
Mike's
today, so I gotta run
based
and
on
take care of the
Mike's
animals
assessment of my
myself.
20 points, can we have a replay?
That's after the
That's
fact.
what,
man.
that's what I'm waiting for. Replay in wrestling. You got to have it. You know it's coming.
Look,
Yeah, can we have do-overs?
you may have got screwed, Benny, but I'm a big believer of it is what it is. So
Yeah, but you
point
can't.
your
You can't
title, come
call-
get it next week.
Chad Gable's shoulders were not
I'll
pinned.
be
Monday
back for
night.
next
No, they were not.
I
And it
had a
wasn't
really
even, like,
good take on
close.
Cody Rhodes too. Damn.
That wasn't even close.
My Cody Rhodes take would have won it for me too.
Wow.
Yeah, that question was all for you, Benny.
Yep.
So
But once I didn't last that long.
Unbelievable.
Playmates wearing
you
me
and
out. What
you
could I
and Lee
say?
Cole.
Hey, what happened to the fan question? I like those ones.
Yeah, let's
Fan
get some.
question.
Let's get the fans to write in some questions. So feel free to
Yeah.
to send them in.
Whoever's still in the chat. Send us some questions for that.
Still got a lot of people there.
Yeah, they're still yapping away.
Yeah.
They must be listening to us.
Somebody's
All of Benny's
Jason
fans
is
are
talking about
plotting an
Kent McCord
insurrection.
from
That's
Adam
what's
12.
happening.
Where is this Long Island thing? This
JJ
weekend?
from Good Times is dead. Is that true?
What?
JJ from Good Times is dead? I thought he was alive.
No,
He is alive.
Is it?
He's alive. The
Jimmy
father's
Walker's still
dead.
alive, isn't he?
Mike Evans is dead.
Yeah, John Amos, right?
The
John
other
Amos.
one is going to be there. Is
No, nobody's dead.
is
No.
Raj
And,
from Good
Estoril,
Times.
Esther Roll
wife.
is dead, but
What the
James
hell
Evans
is that?
isn't.
Yeah, I was going to say, unless it happened
Oh,
recently.
but
'cause I just
you know
saw an
what? I
interview-
think John Amos is still alive, right?
I think so.
He
I
is.
saw an
Yes.
interview with Jimmy
As far as
Walker
that, yes, he is.
back in
Yeah.
January.
And Jimmy Walker's still alive.
Yeah, Jimmy Walker's still alive.
He just
I
came up
I
this way
just saw
not
an
too long
interview with him
ago.
recently.
Maria's spreading false information now.
John
JJ
Amos
from
is
Good
still
Times
alive.
is
He
not
just got
dead.
inducted into the Orange County Hall of Fame in New Jersey.
Wow. Where is this thing in Long Island this weekend? Where is it at?
Suffolk County, the Suffolk County Community something. It's a
College or something.
yeah.
Okay.
It's a credit some arena on the campus.
Nice.
Yeah, it's
Who's-
last time
Is that a
Phil and
big
I
thing?
went. Yeah, last time Phil and I went to it in November, and that's where they had Rhea Ripley. They had who else was there? Phil. We sat with Paul.
With the lines. Oh, we had what's her name? Who just went into the OnlyFans. What's her name? The former
Andy Rose.
Alexa
Mandy.
Bliss?
yeah, she's gonna be there.
Yes,
She'll be
Mandy.
there. She'll
Amanda
be there.
Sacamano?
Yeah,
Yes.
she'll be there this weekend too.
I should have plugged my weekly guest rant column on the newsletter with Bill Apter.
Well, we're still
forgot
on the
about
we're still on the air, so we're still going.
There we are. Yeah. That's going to be a bi-weekly thing, I do
The
believe.
entire show is pulling a president. We just don't want to end.
Whoa. Nope,
Mel
not
Brooks
even
is
done
still
yet.
alive. He's almost 100. That is correct.
That is
That's
correct.
awesome.
That's
Evidence
amazing.
of the text. Yeah. I mean,
That was
It
actually
is.
all
So what's
jokes
up-
aside. That was one of my favorite PSAs during COVID because his son is a really famous author,
Right.
and he Max Brooks was talking about I'm young, I'm healthy. When I'm outside, I wear a mask. He's like, but it's really important if people are old, and at high risk, you have to make sure they're safe. And Mel Brooks like leads around the corner and he's tapping on the glass door. He's like, what about me? No, Dad, stay in the house. And he's like, I thought that was such a great commercial because it's
Nice.
like,
Speaking of masks, did you guys see that video that Tamina and them put out yesterday? When they were in Boston, they were at the hotel. They were going to put masks on so they could sneak into the garden. They were like,
No.
yeah, it's her, it's Bailey,
Bailey,
Naomi,
and Naomi.
Tamina.
Yeah, and
They were
Tamina.
putting that, yeah.
Yeah,
And Bailey's the only one that got caught.
yeah. They have pictures of Bailey in the rafters there.
yeah, they were in the nosebleed seats. The get out of Dodge.
Yeah, they had to get out of there. Yeah, and then I had buddies of mine. They were, as much as the crowd was into it, the videos that I got from my buddies that were sitting ringside, they weren't as loud as you think. That CEO sound thing was more or less carrying.
Yeah,
the
And you also have to look at. I mean, they were promoting the piss out of
Oh
this
yeah,
show.
wasn't even a
for
sellout. Wasn't
weeks,
even a
and
sellout.
it was they only sold like 15 of 30. The arena was barely half full. It was like 15 of-
9,300 people there. That for an AEW show and like a SmackDown or a
Yeah,
Raw, they get easily 13,000 at the Garden the way it's
Right.
set up. They didn't have nothing like that there. They had all the right people in the right TV
They-
spots.
they just had a numbers. WrestleNomics released it last week. The collision that was filmed on a Thursday.
You can
It
see
was
it's horrible.
2,700 people in
Yeah.
a building that seats 12,000. Building was 85% empty.
No, I don't understand. I just think they're pushing the envelope too much. They just stick
Insane.
with a weekly show and that's it.
Look
They're killing themselves.
Look at what they
Book
did.
small
You
arenas.
bring in Okada. right?
Honorees.
Okada's supposed to be the biggest star in the world. You bring in Okada, you turn him heel, and
Yeah.
partner him with the Bucks, who are mid card nobodies.
Yeah, this
And
is
then
horrible.
his debut match is on Collision without any announcements whatsoever. It's not like, hey, tune in, Okada's wrestling
Yeah.
against 3 job guys, and then he wrestles on Collision in a low-rated segment.
It's
And
horrible.
Like
booking. It's
he
horrible.
Okada's been with the company for 2 weeks, and he already feels like they wasted him.
Yeah, it's horrible booking all the way
Yeah.
around. Even last night, I mean, her kicking off the show, Mercedes Moné last night was okay, but it just ruined the rest of the night. Really, it's like okay, the 9 o'clock hour is when she should have came out.
Yeah,
Just take
everybody
it off.
that tuned in to see her turn the TV off. They lost like over 200,000 according to the ratings, 200,000 people after her segment ended.
Yeah.
How many times did the WWE used to tease somebody and then they come
Oh, yeah.
out only for that last 30 seconds of the show and it ended?
Yeah.
And then the funny part is that she got involved at the end with that Willow Nightingale thing, and then they're plugging. Oh, next week we'll hear from Mercedes Moné. Did she not just have a 20-minute in-ring promo?
Right.
What the hell does she have to say now? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's gonna be a big flop. But I honestly don't know what kind of ring shape she's in. But I hope to God she doesn't get hurt.
Well,
Because
if you
we've seen
remember,
that happen too many times.
she had the New Japan Women's title a year.
Broke her ankle. Yeah.
Yeah.
She had 2 surgeries. They revealed that she had on it. So, that's
Whereas you look at like WWE, they've been hyping, hey, The Rock is coming. All The Rock's dates between now and Mania, almost all of them are sold out.
Yep.
They started advertising like 2 weeks ago that the
Yep.
SmackDown or it's in Chicago. In
Yep.
2 weeks, CM Punk's going to be there live.
they added that. Yeah, they
You know?
added.
So I
CM Punk.
imagine, I wouldn't be shocked if CM Punk's the special guest referee and the.
That's what I
Rollins-
saw. They said 5 ways that CM
Yeah.
Punk could be involved, and like 3 out of the 5 were hosting, announcing, kickoff
Well,
show.
They're doing some kind of access show where there's a bunch of people that are going to be there live,
Yeah,
kind of like
yeah.
the
Charlotte Flair is going to be there.
Yeah,
all that
Charlotte
stuff.
Flair and CM Punk are the 2
Yeah.
big ones because they're both hurt. So of course you got to use
What?
them for
Right.
promotions and stuff.
Nope, I agree. I definitely agree. Someone mentioned in the chat something about Hulk Hogan. You think he'll be at WrestleMania this year? I don't think so. There's nothing for him there this year, is there?
I mean, Philadelphia, I don't know. He doesn't really have a bond, and that city is not going to be kind to him.
Unless you throw Sylvester Stallone in there
Yeah,
somewhere, but I
right.
can't see it.
Well, you know what they're going to have to do? They'll have to do a training montage of Sylvester Stallone training Sami Zayn to beat Gunther.
That match is not taking place. No freaking way. I can't see it. I don't know. Is it going to play the David Goliath role? Is this
Honestly,
it's gonna be?
I could see them doing it, but there's what is Sami Zayn as a character gain from being the one to finally beat Gunther? Like
Right.
he's already main evented pay-per-views for your heavyweight
Yeah.
title. He was main event at WrestleMania last year in the tag match. Like he doesn't need the rub of being the guy to beat Gunther.
Well, we could be kicking off the Kevin Owens feud with them too. He might interrupt the match and say, "You know what? I'm sick of your shit." And
Right.
then, there you go. And then Gunther wins again because I don't know with
Yeah.
the Brock Lesnar
Well,
thing coming back a little bit. Now they're still hitting at that. He might.
Kevin
make it
Owens,
there.
it certainly looks like they're building him into a triple threat with Orton and Logan Paul.
Oh yeah, definitely.
know?
I'd like to see that. But I
Good
don't know.
comment from B40. He's referencing AEW fans. They look like every weirdo on To Catch a Predator. Why don't you have a seat?
Have a seat.
And how old was Alicia?
Well, you've never walked the streets of Boston on lunchtime, then.
You said she was 18.
Oh
I have the chat log.
Hulk Hogan will most likely be playing the stage at WrestleMania with Metallica. Oh Jesus! Oh God.
Well, I mean,
I don't
Hogan-
see Hulk at WrestleMania. I
is
just
it-
don't.
It's not too late for him to go out to Hollywood and be the next John Wayne. So
Yeah, no kidding.
So listen, hey
I
guys,
don't know.
listen. Since we're extending this, mind if I run that other set of commercials and then we can
Go
come
for
back
it.
and talk for a few
Yeah, do
more
it.
minutes?
Do it.
All right, sounds good. We'll be right back, guys.
The Monty and the Pharaoh Show is brought to you by
Because wine is your second favorite 4-letter word. California wine, New York attitude. Good fucking wine.
Tired of that same old breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Same old tasting scrambled eggs, burger, that dinner steak, ribs, or pork chops? Why not add a little bit of spice? or just a touch of heat to make the difference. Change that scrambled egg with a little bit of Johnny Fabulous's John Cena Sr.'s $1 Million Jalapeno Hot Sauce. Great on burgers, steaks, chops, and those barbecued ribs.
And Nitro's Garage for all your automotive needs. Call 646-675-2349. That's 646-675-2349. For all your automotive needs, Nitro's Garage. Ask for Jack.
Do you treat your dog as part of the family? Well, so do we. So why not celebrate your pup's birthday with the ultimate party box? Check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Party Pup Info, and let us make your pup's party or any celebration perfection.
M&J Video Games and Collectibles. Sport and non-sport cards, wrestling items, autographed items. We buy, sell, and trade. M&J Video Games and Collectibles, located at 1049 Queen Street, Southington, Connecticut. Call us at 1-860-479-9223 or 860-93-GAMES. M&J Video Games and Collectibles.
Hey, everybody, and we're back to an extended edition of the 30 due to some technical difficulties at the studio down in Long Island. So,
Please stand by.
I'm sitting here with the 30 champion, Dan Sebastiano, the president of Thursday Nights, Mr. Phil DeCesare, the player Benny Scala, and the man who's never at a loss for words. What a day, Joe Lowry.
What a day. Welcome back. Yeah, extended is right. We've been on the air for how long now? Jeez.
Oh, let's see. We are, about an hour and 15 minutes now.
So do we know what actually happened in the studio there at Bonnie and the Pharaoh? What happened?
Something now that we're just having a little bit of trouble with some of the connections down there, and hopefully they can get that all sorted out. So, but in the meantime, they get to hear us.
Well, I mean,
got to give a shout out to the chat, though. Got to give a shout out. They're sticking with us. They're hanging with us.
Yeah,
they're keeping us going. Thank you very much, guys. Keep it coming.
Yeah, I got to look at it.
I'm not one to point fingers at anything, but Benny loses his title and the first one eliminated, and all of a sudden the entire studio just crashes and goes to hell.
Was there a some type of shenanigan?
It's the lava lamp.
I think we're up to 3 bubbles in the lava lamp. No, 4 now. You started with 1 at the beginning of the show.
It's bubbling up there.
Yeah, look at that thing. Jesus.
Might explode.
My mother.
I think we should set up a stream just of the lava lamp. It'll be more entertaining than what Lee Cole puts out.
You like the Yule log on Channel 11 in New York on Christmas Eve.
Unbelievable. So we didn't really talk about the Candice LeRae incident on Raw. I covered that in my What a Day Wrestling Minute.
Yes, we should talk about that.
With her
spontaneous heel turn.
Just I mentioned in my Wrestling Minute. I just didn't see the sense that it all took because for a lot of reasons. Actually, one being, we all know real life stories, whether they're tragic, sad, happy, glad, whatever. They always cross over into the wrestling storylines. We get that. But this one was just way off for some reason. One, because it was happening during a meaningless tag team match. And then they did it in the ring when only the fans at home could hear what was being said. So like the fans are probably sitting around, okay, the camera's in their face, they're yapping. But if you're at ringside, if you're not at home and you're sitting there going, what the hell just happened? You probably got to go to your phone to see what was going on. I just didn't think the whole timing was off. It wasn't the content. That's great. And all that stuff, but come on. I don't know. I didn't buy it. I didn't agree with it. They should have.
It might have been a little bit more, more impactful if it was delivered by somebody else other than Candice LeRae. Between her and her husband, they have this charisma of an epileptic moth.
No, they should have done that backstage. They should have done it backstage and then gone out to the ring to have a match, and that would have been the storyline.
And not to mention how she cuts the you don't belong here, blah 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 bullshit.
Oh yeah,
and then randomly if your brother was still alive, he'd be embarrassed. Like completely at least when Christian with the whole thing Christian's doing with all the dead fathers, at least that goes into what he's doing.
Everybody can hear it. Everybody can hear it.
They'll probably never mention her brother again.
Yeah.
And it'll, plus, I mean, and I hate to say it, I actually kind of, because I've shit on him a lot on this show, but I kind of agree with the point Dave Meltzer made on this whole thing with all these people, crocodile tears, like, oh, she's trying so hard, fans are a monster. No, fans paid money to see her wrestle, to see a wrestling show. They have the right to boo and heckle anybody they want to, especially if you go out there and put on a shitty match that I just paid $100 for. I'm allowed to boo and yell, you suck.
Boo and heckle, just like the FDNY did to Letitia James at that
Oh, there
event.
you go.
They have the right to boo and heckle, man.
Well,
There's a witch hunt going on. There's a witch hunt going on.
We're not saying that we're gonna call you out, but if you don't confess to being one of the ones who booed, we're gonna find you.
Yeah, we will find you. We'll hunt you down and we'll kill you. Yeah, exactly.
Right. Liam Neeson style. I have a special set of skills for finding people who heckle Attorney General.
And I was thinking on the flip side of with this Maxine Dupree. Imagine if this whole thing was an act. Like she's botching on purpose,
right?
To garner, you know what I mean? Like, go out there. I know you're a former LA Rams cheerleader and a Phoenix Suns dancer, but just go out there and really stink it up. And I would not be surprised if that was the case.
They could do like the Shockmaster after he fell through the wall, like make him Uncle Freddie and turn her into a spaz.
Ooh. Jay Will there it says that Dan has the Don Leo Jonathan mutton chops going on.
There you go.
Ooh, there you go.
That's a
The
compliment.
Mormon Giant, baby.
There you go.
So hey Dan, did you get that new AEW crate in yet?
No, I think it's April is when it's supposed to be here.
I gotta get on this thing. I know you guys
I got this last one I think in January. So
it's quarterly. That's right.
Yeah, it should be quarterly.
Not just the T-shirts alone are worth it.
Yeah, I mean honestly, like in all the years I've been doing the All Elite crate, I've only ever given away / never worn 2 shirts, and one of them was the Julia Hart, like when she first turned heel, the face that looked like it was the melting, and it said Hart. That's like perfectly my wife's style, so I gave it to her. And then one of them was the Best Friends with all the neon lights, like Orange Cassidy and Taylor and all them.
I love that.
I just thought that shirt looked stupid, and it was a group I couldn't care about, so that went in the Goodwill bin.
Oh.
So some hobo in Norfolk paid $5 for an AEW shirt.
What size was that shirt, man?
3X.
Oh,
jeez. There you go.
Yeah, so far, I mean, I only do the pro wrestling crate, but I was thinking about doing the AEW one. But the pro wrestling crate, it's definitely worth it. It's pretty cool. You get a couple T-shirts, an autograph. It's like $30-something bucks.
Yeah, and like I said, this last crate came with a picture of Joe's future ex-wife. So
stop it. I do that for Mike. That's all Mike right there.
Yeah, but I mean, Sky Blue. You got an autograph of Sky Blue. That's $25 right there.
Right.
Unless you're Stacy Keebler, it's $500.
That's
cannot
ridiculous.
Get over that, man. Was Mike serious about that?
Yeah, it's the combo. I think it's a combo is $549 or something like that.
I don't know.
Get a blowjob also? I mean, I hope
don't know.
so.
I don't know what's worse, promoting that, asking for that, or paying for that.
Okay, so here's the problem: it's sold out.
Yeah, you know. Yeah,
you guys
she's
are
getting
missing...
$120,000 and she's charging $549.
Well, obviously,
and like they said, she'll probably have a line. She'll get it. She'll get a couple dozen at least.
Just to give you an idea, Phil and I were down at the last one, and Rhea Ripley was there. She had at any given time 2,500 people in that line. It was ridiculous.
What was she charging, Bruce?
She was charging. She was charging 200 for a pick and 200 for an autograph. And most people were getting
400
both.
for an autograph. There's no combo price in between. You mean halfway?
I honestly, I don't remember because I was not going to pay for it.
No, I mean, as obscene as that is, at least she is a current talent, you know.
Is that covering the overhead for her appearance there? Because I mean, you got to cover that first.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
You know what I mean? I mean, that's buku money. That's just ridiculous.
I can't even comprehend that.
I couldn't, and I would not pay that much money for that.
Is that Jake?
I got this at Comic-Con. The Virginia Tidewater Comic-Con, one of the biggest conventions on the East Coast. $20, $40. It was $60 total for a picture, autograph, and Resurrecting the Snake DVD. Fucking, are you really going to tell me that Stacy Keibler thinks she's 15 times the wrestling superstar that Jake Roberts was?
Jake Roberts times 11.
Right. Like, remember when we were talking about it earlier, when Mercedes Moné, I guess she was still Sasha Banks then, when she joined Cameo, that pay to have celebrities make video services for you, and she was like $5,000, which was
that's crazy.
which was 10 times what Ric Flair was charging.
Wow. Unbelievable. Yeah.
But people pay for it. That's what makes no sense.
But if people are paying for it, what the hell, right?
I got a Jake autograph. Right there. I have tons of autographs. I got to put these back up. Jeez.
Yeah, I'm starting to get autographs. I've got a ton of 8x10s autographs, so now I'm starting to do other stuff. I'm trying to do like the Legend wrestling figures, getting them autographed, and some of the old magazines. So yeah, just because
Here it is. I actually keep this in the frame with the picture, but that was his last one of his very last convention appearances.
Who's that, Bruno?
Yeah, when I got this signed.
Oh wow! What year is that?
It was like only a few months before he died.
2019 or so, maybe.
He passed away in April of 2018.
Yeah,
it was right before that.
And it would have been the fall, so it would have been like November, December of 17.
Dan, during that winter, that's when he signed the robe that I used to have behind me. He signed like 10 of them for this wrestling outfit, and they were selling them, and I grabbed one. So yeah, it was right before he died. I was like, wow. I mean, I just wanted his autograph, but I got the robe.
Yeah.
But then he passed away, and I'm like, oh shit! Like I didn't expect that. So yeah, it was. It's all cool. It's all cool.
Well,
awesome.
Don't mind the mess. I'm installing new shelves, but that's the. Where is it? There it is.
Yeah.
So
he died April 18th, 2018. That is correct.
Yeah. My old studio used to have all my 8x10s all up and down.
There's my random celebrity shelf.
Yep. There you go. Random celebrity.
Yeah. And
Nice.
my Jim Cornette collection.
Maria Davis wants to know: has anyone gotten an autograph from The Rock?
No.
I wonder what he charges.
Neither that or a picture with him.
A shitload more than he used to, I would imagine.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
I have a collection of so many pictures with these guys. First of all, back when regular cameras were the way to take pictures, and secondly, without being charged. Obviously, so many of them come into the gym, which is away from home, and you really used to be for me, and Gold's Gym particularly. So, just had such good fortune there, and just again, just incredible treasures, man. So many of them.
I hear
totally cool to be in the picture, and I didn't even think. Well, of course they were developed and never got them autographed, but yeah.
I get bummed out when I think about all the old pictures I used to take in the garden that I just randomly either discarded or threw away or whatever. It just bums me out. I had so many 81, 82, 83 to see the old ring.
There it is. That's let's see if you guys can see that.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, wow. Huh?
There you go.
And you're
nice.
Yeah, he was showing the world what he really thought about that Iraqi gimmick.
Yeah,
I love that. Oh wow,
that was a good biography too on A&E about him. That was good.
Yeah,
that was really good.
Have you guys caught up on on those new biographies and Rivals and stuff? I haven't been keeping up.
No, I haven't seen any.
I usually I try to binge them when I can on a random Sunday or something like that. Then I got Dark Side of the Ring started too, so I want to.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. The wife and I watched the Slaughter documentary yesterday, actually, while we were having dinner. Because we're obviously a week behind. I forget what the newest one is. I think it's Scott Hall. But it was funny watching because she was telling me because obviously you can see the man cave behind me because Sergeant Slaughter has to go into his garage and he's like Indiana Jones blowing dust off the crates because his wife won't let him have any of his wrestling shit in the house. Yeah. And she's like, she even told me she's like, if you ever my wife thought it was hilarious.
The only thing the only thing I questioned about that was the obviously WrestleMania 1990 when he was going to headline LA Coliseum. Movie due to the bomb threats. Then Bruce Pritchard threw in there they weren't selling the tickets like they thought they
Yes, I heard that.
Well, I mean, honestly,
I wonder how really true that is though, because WrestleMania back then was still relatively new. Everybody wanted to go to it.
And Slaughter and Hogan were huge stars, and despite not selling tickets, they sold out. Was it the Staples Center or wherever they ended up going? The Coliseum. They sold that out. So it's like, are you telling me you don't think I mean, granted, they probably wouldn't have sold another 50,000 tickets, but you wouldn't have sold enough. I don't know. anything that comes out of Bruce Pritchard's
The
mouth.
bomb
sounds
threats and
slimy
stuff, I
fake
believe.
anyway.
The bomb threats and stuff, I believe. But
Yeah.
I think they had a good showing ticket wise.
I wouldn't trust Bruce Pritchard to tell me the weather if I was standing outside.
Yeah.
No.
Well, you know,
absolutely
all
not.
those threats. I mean, that would certainly dissuade people from coming in person. You know, if anyone could smell any potential for any type of terroristic activity, they're not going to be going. You know,
Yeah.
That's true. That is true. But
And
yeah,
that was, I hate
overall,
to say it, but that was
pre 9/11.
coming right out of the 80s into the Gulf War, where our image of what a terrorist looked like was slowly transitioning away from Central European white men to Arabs. So when we saw General Adnan on TV and they're like bomb threats, oh my God, the terrorists are coming.
They're
people probably
infiltrating
genuinely got
professional
scared.
wrestling.
Yeah.
Wow.
The irony that he fled Saddam. You know.
Yeah, with the General
that he
Adnan
fled
and
for his
Tommy
life.
Taylor went to high school together.
Exactly, and just like the irony of the Sheik coming of Khosrow coming over and being an Olympic coach on our side,
Right.
you know, it's so
Yeah,
ironic.
Legitimately Iranian,
Yeah,
or shit. When Benny and I had it when we talked about him on the show, where people like the whole story with Bruno and his family hiding in the mountains and his mom having to like sneak back into town and get supplies
risk
from the
your life.
Nazis. and all
Yeah,
that.
at night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and everybody's like, "Oh wow, what a great story!" And it's like, no, that's legitimately like
That's
people.
legitimate.
It was so far fetched. People thought it was just part of the Bruno moniker.
It wasn't a
Thought
great
it was a
story. It
war.
was real
Oh,
life.
it was-
Yeah,
oh,
legit,
dude.
real
She
story.
literally had to crawl into her own basement, which was occupied by Nazis, to get some food out to bring up to her children who were up in the mountains. And
Yeah.
I think she even
I
got shot.
recall when he was speaking about it, how teary he got and how emotional. I mean, that's so legit, man. Unbelievable.
And she was gone like for a couple of days. It wasn't like a half an hour walk.
Yeah, it was a long trek up and down the mountain. Yep. Yeah, and she had to sneak around too. It wasn't like she just strolled down the mountain. She had to actually hide and camp out and wait for whatever whoever they were guarding. She had to go around them and stuff. So, but evidently, she was one of many mothers and fathers who did that trek. They all kind of went together, I think.
Yeah.
They would all sneak down together. Sometimes they would look out and all that. It's a cool story. You got to read up on it. It's pretty neat.
My
Yeah, they
family's
were up
from
there
that
for
area.
like, I think almost a year and a half.
Yeah, something like that. And then he got really sick too, right? Wasn't he sick?
Yeah,
He had rheumatic fever.
Up there, yeah.
he was like 80 pounds when he came over. He
Yeah.
was,
Yeah.
His arrival in America was delayed for 2 years because he could not pass a physical.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
horrible. That's horrible.
His mom actually put leeches on his back, I think, to drain the blood. I mean, they believed in leeches as
That was
a
the old treatment.
as a
Yeah.
cure, yeah.
Yeah, they still do that now and then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And who's to say that there's not some merit to doing that in some cases?
No kidding.
Well, she had lost a couple of children. She said that I already lost, I think, 2. I'm not going to lose another one. But I mean, it was
Wow.
touch and go with Bruno for a long
Yeah.
time.
I hear you.
I think that's
how
what
an
actually
event like-
did him in.
You imagine how close. I mean, we talk about things like that, but and how every person really in life is important and makes such a difference. And we think back to It's a Wonderful Life and all that. But you really think about it. What if Bruno didn't make it out? How would the trajectory of pro wrestling have changed?
Oh my God,
Come on,
really,
all
yeah.
these
Yeah.
lives. But I mean,
Well, if he made it out, but he said that he got picked on at school. He got bloody noses. People beat him up because he
weightlifting.
couldn't speak English. And then he had a friend that went to it wasn't even the YMCA. I think it was like the Hebrew version of it.
it was. Yeah, you're
And,
right. It was the Hebrew.
Yeah, and he went there and he said the minute I got there, I knew there was something in it for me. And
Yeah.
he's less than 100 pounds, and he became within a few years the strongest man in the world. Just an amazing story.
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right, guys, I'm
Who
gonna
said
bug
it in the
out.
chat room?
Yeah, I was just about to say I'm gonna head out too. I got wife.
Bruce, can you handle it from here, Bruce? And
Sounds
Benny?
good.
Can you guys
Guys, just give me one more second. I'm trying to send a couple of invites out to Jimmy and Mike to get them back on too. So
Oh, okay.
Certainly.
give me 1 second.
Where'd they go? They take the night off now? That's it? They said lights don't go on to the studio. We're out of here?
Do we get extra pay for this gig tonight?
Yeah, we're in overtime here. We're in overtime.
I'm going to look in my pay envelope.
I'm trying to pull up my contract online. I can't. I'm trying to look
My
for what
pay
happened
packet
to
is
Wilbur.
it said Willy
Don't pull a
Wonka.
walk. No, never mind. I won't say that.
Ah,
A certain wrestler who have tipped over the table before, upset.
Jeff Farmer.
Yeah.
Jump
Number
Jeff
2,
Farmer.
Jeff Farmer.
Jeff
Yep.
Farmer. Motley Cruz. You done
Turn
turned
the tables on
in
me
the
in the wrong way.
direction.
Hey, it's National Pie Day too. Did
That's right.
everyone remember?
314 day.
Yeah.
314.
Yeah, and
Today's the
Little-
day that a museum in St. Louis, the City
Yeah.
Museum in St. Louis, I have to look up on it. I had this on my show last night. They were attempting to set the Guinness Book of World Records for most visitors arriving to the museum and visiting the museum with underwear on their head.
Oh, geez.
Actually passing out underwear, clean underwear to everybody that was coming in. Started at 1:45. They actually
I'm
have
glad it was clean underwear.
Yeah, it is clean underwear. So they are getting ready to set the record. The record originally was 240. I think they want to get to 314 to match the day and the area code where they are in St. Louis. But the thing is they do have a adjudicator there from the Guinness Book of World Records. So
Yeah.
I'll have to research that to see if they made the record. I'm pretty sure they did, but
Yeah, I'm all for records, but I don't know if you guys remember in the 90s they actually had a Guinness World Record TV show where they would do like in studio competitions and they'd go find, and it's like, okay, you're the fastest person to ever do this, the most weight ever lifted, whatever, right?
yeah.
But like, okay, we hold the Guinness record for the most people wearing underwear on their head in the same building. Like, Guinness, at some point Guinness has to be like, no, we're not wasting ink printing that.
That's
was
beneath our standards.
They were
Yeah.
ironically, they were trying to break the record of the previous owner. Someplace in Naperville, Ohio, had a book launch for Captain Underpants. So
See,
they
that
all
I
wore-
could understand,
See, but that's what they were trying to do. They were trying to beat, but they coincided it with March 14th being 314 Day, Pi Day, and the area code where the library's at or where the museum's at is 314. So that was the whole thing with that. So
Maybe the nude bowlers of America can participate. Maybe win if
NBA.
they have
The other
numbers,
NBA.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, you
I
guys
can't
remember
believe
that picture of Natalia where she's holding like 6 or 7 plaques at the same time because Guinness just recognized everything in one day. Most matches by a woman, most pay-per-view matches by a woman. Here we're not going to have 7 ceremonies. Here's everything at once.
who is this that just entered?
How's that saying go? I can see it, but I still can't believe it.
Mhm.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Well, and I have to say,
You are
Jimmy,
with us now.
Yeah. Am I?
at him.
Are you
I
sure?
think you are here with us now.
this thing
Can,
on.
can everybody hear me? Is this really happening?
It's
You're here, baby.
live and in
All
living
right.
color.
Very
What's
good.
going
very
on?
good. Whatever you do, don't ask me how I fucking am, okay?
I know.
That's a serviceable response. Very serviceable response there. Okay.
There you go. There you go. Cut and dry. Joe, I wanted to say great job. I haven't called you. I allegedly have a number that's supposedly yours. So
Yeah.
If you get a phone call, it's gonna be from this lunatic. So stand
Okay.
by for that. Dan, same thing. Now, Dan, I'm very confused. Benny says that he doesn't have your phone number. How the hell?
I don't
have you
think I
guys done a
do.
show? How have you guys done a show? Is that a cat? I just saw a cat. I love cats. That's why I see cats. I get excited. I love cats.
I got 11 cats. I got
There you
11
go.
cats
There's
in
a
the house.
cat. They're fuzzy and lovable. I love cats. But how is it that the Dan and Benny show, the great Dan and Benny show, you guys don't have each other's phone number?
The magic of Skype and Messenger.
It's funny now that you mention it. Like
Yeah.
everything we've ever communicated has been either like Skype phone or Facebook Messenger. I don't think we've actually
Yep.
ever texted.
Nope.
Wow.
Never.
3 years, by the way. Last 2 week end of February was 3 years for the show.
Yeah, 168 episodes.
My goodness.
Nice.
So you guys still do not have each other's phone numbers? Is that what I'm hearing? Yes?
I don't think I have Dan's number.
Wow. incredible.
Very bizarre.
Incredible.
Very bizarre.
Yeah,
but that's
bizarre.
How bizarre! Wasn't that a
It's
song?
it's a unique working
Yeah.
relationship we have.
How bizarre!
Hey,
So
Maria,
Jimmy,
Maria says hello there.
How bizarre. How bizarre.
Hey, Jimmy, Maria's saying hello.
Maria Davis.
The first
Hey,
lady,
Maria.
baby.
How you doing? What's happening?
And Foxhole
Jimmy,
Willie.
I gotta ask you one question. Jimmy, I gotta ask you one question. Are you
Shoot.
sitting at like a bar in your house? I'm trying to figure out your schematics there.
No, well, actually, once upon a time, Wahoo McDaniel owned a bar, and
Yeah.
that's his sign.
Okay. Nice.
You know, I'm
Nice.
basically surrounded by. I got McDaniel and Blackjack Mulligan beating the living tar, and I got all of Wahoo's trophies going back to his Oklahoma University days around
That's
me.
good.
Yeah,
As
I
they-
got like tons of Indian pictures, and being in the band War Dance back in the day, I've always had an Indian
Beautiful.
connection. So this is perfect symmetry for this wacko.
There you
You know
go.
what I
There you
mean?
go. And,
Yeah.
and coming from Boston, I get to say that's wicked pissa. Pissa. I like that.
Okay.
Just a-
Okay. After you get done parking your car.
Parking the
Gotcha.
car.
Yeah.
By the way,
And
you
you're-
can't park your car in the Harvard Yard because if you do, you're drunk. Because the Harvard
Yeah.
Yard's about the size of my desk.
Yeah.
Just letting
Uh,
everybody. And it's a statue.
Is,
It's a
is Dan champion again, by the way?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I dropped out today.
Dan, you've become like Roman Reigns on this program. What the hell's going on here?
Got to acknowledge him.
Right.
Look at this. He said he's and you guys get a belt. Am I hearing that right? Do you ship it from house to house?
I got the belt.
Some of
behind
us
me.
have the digital
I got
belt.
the real belt.
Joe made his own.
I got the 30
Oh.
championship. I'm only
Oh
a
my
two-time
God,
champ,
you
but
guys-
hey, at least I'm in the record books, right? Phil, are you
you gotta-
flexing,
I bet
Phil?
it-
I think Phil's flexing again. Phil, are you flexing?
I'm not even in my arms aren't in camera.
What?
Uh,
If I had
I'll do
Phil's
the
arms,
dance,
I'd
though.
flex.
Well,
I'd
Yeah.
flex too if I had Phil's arms. Benny, what is that? A lava lamp? That's kind of groovy, bro.
It's a lava lamp. Yes, sir.
here you go, Jimmy. I figure
Very
you should,
nice. Very nice. Now,
since you never lost the title, I
I
think
gotta
I'll give
ask
you.
Joe I gotta ask Joe real quick. Let me get this in. Joe, what's with the blinking light? Now I understand that I've got like OCD and stuff, but the blinking light just for
I
me
love it.
drives me insane. I sit there looking at the blinking light. Can you make it unblink sometimes?
Yeah, I can change it. You want me to change it?
Yeah, it's like I don't know what's wrong with me. I feel like Alex in A Clockwork Orange when that thing's going off. I don't know what it is. now.
The eyes open.
You know? All right, that's different. All right. You have a disco ball effect? You might as well go for broke while you're at it over there, Travolta.
Do this. Oh, there you
All right.
I like that. It's less
Yeah,
blinking.
that's a little less distracting.
Is there a cover charge down there or what?
That's more the broth. Yeah, that's like the brothel look right there. There
Yeah,
you
I mean, you've always got something interesting to say, but I'm like, what's with the blinking light? I'm like this.
Yeah, it's all smoke and mirrors. You know how it is in the studio. You got to do what you got to do.
Oh, yeah, a little sleight of hand like they do in the wrestling business there.
The
So,
rasp-
so who's driving this bus now that there's 6 mouths in the room? I mean, I missed everything. Do you guys want to talk about anything in particular, or how do you want to do this?
We're still trying to figure out why in the world somebody would pay $500 for
Yeah,
Stacey Keebler's autograph.
Joe and I both tried to leave for the night, and Bruce told us we weren't allowed to go home. So we're just here
Yeah.
against our will. right now.
Mandatory overtime.
Yeah.
Wow. That's,
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
We
you
run
know,
a tight ship
part
here,
of
you
the
know?
family, and apparently this family is like a family. Don't make me call
Apparently, yeah.
family, You know,
You can never leave. You can't leave.
It's like a family, except it's a family full of those crazy uncles I warned my girlfriend about before she goes to the first Thanksgiving.
right. Well, you got the crazy part right. I don't know about uncles. Mine.
I resemble that remark. I'm
Right?
definitely one of those.
That lava
My
lamp
uncle's
looks
been
like
missing for
liquid
decades.
Viagra.
Everybody's got one. Like, look, he may seem nice on the surface, but whatever you do, don't mention the Red Sox around Uncle Benny or whatever.
Why'd you have to say the Red Sox?
Well, because he's a Yankees fan. It was the first rival I
Okay,
thought
all
of.
right.
Well, speaking of the Yankees, I heard Aaron Rodgers is possibly running for VP.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers
Aaron
or Jesse Ventura.
And Jesse, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I noticed something very interesting in the news today. You know what's funny? I'm getting to the point, and I know Karen will never let me do it, but I'm getting to the point that I want to do what I did when I was living in Lindenhurst 6 years ago. I want to push the television set out to the curb. I agree with Jim Morrison when he said back in the late 60s, if you want to truly protect your children, take the TV and leave it at the curb. because that you're not going to get anything that's truthful or organic. You're just going to get a bunch of nonsense.
That was a man way ahead of his time.
Well, I like the
yes, he
picture.
was.
The picture of Frank Zappa where you had the toilet upstairs in the bathroom, and it ran downstairs
By
to the
Zappa
TV.
Crappa.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I read something today, and it just absolutely, I've really had enough. I can't take it anymore. I said last week, I think, on the show, since when did accusations become convictions? And that's all we're dealing with nowadays. Everything is accusations. If I dare,
Yeah, I heard it on the internet, so it's got to be true.
yeah, if I dare ask for due process, the names that I've been called and Mike has been called, because we respect the system and due process, when it's done, that's when you truly can make an opinion. I'm sick and tired of all these people who have been alleged of this and alleged of that, and I don't care if it's Vince or if it's Trump or whoever it may be. Okay,
Right.
if there's no due process and no conviction, you can be bitter about it, but you cannot spread false crap. It's just allegations. So today, since this RFK Jr. thing has come out, and of course, Rogers was mentioned, what bothers me is that, hey, what a surprise, CNN made sure to get the attorney for the Sandy Hook families, and he called Aaron Rodgers. By the way, the allegation about Aaron Rodgers is he allegedly told someone, whoever the F that is, told someone in 2013 that the Sandy Hook thing was a fraud. Okay, well, where's the proof? Is it on camera? Is it recorded somewhere? And who said it? Who said he said this? Okay, so CNN today decides, let's get a quote from the attorney of Sandy Hook, and this is supposed to be, and I'm sure he is, a high-powered, very intelligent, successful lawyer who said the following. I'm paraphrasing. He called Aaron Rodgers a dumb jock. Now, between you and me, and let me get this all out. If Aaron Rodgers is a dumb jock, you can only imagine what he thinks about the other 99.9% of professional football players.
No shit.
Because
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, of anything he is not dumb. Okay, he's a pretty
Great Jeopardy
smart
host.
guy, okay, just because he has some way out opinions, which honestly are not that different from the '60s. Some of his stuff, whether it was the Darkness Retreat or whatever it was that works for him, okay, he has been completely crucified by this asshole who basically decides to go on and call him a dumb jock, and then advises he goes to Hungary where he can spew his rhetoric hate. Why? I was raised in a Jewish household. I'm sick of hearing this. Why? Every time do I have to hear things like Trump is Hitler or this guy should go to... How dare you compare these people to Adolf Hitler? And I'll tell you what, as weird as it may sound, at least Adolf Hitler had the balls to stand in front of people and go, I'm Adolf Hitler. This is what I believe. Follow me or die. Today, the cowards all hide behind rumors and allegations. At least Hitler was a straight up asshole.
That's why they call it television programming. They're trying to program your minds. They've been doing it since the 50s when this TV set came out. You know, I don't even watch the news anymore. And if I do, I strictly classify it as entertainment now because you have to do your own research. You have to figure out what's real, what's not real. It's ridiculous. I feel bad for this generation, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
You know, to turn on the news now and see such crap like Jimmy, you were just talking about, those stories are a dime a dozen now everywhere because everybody wants that view. Everybody wants that click. Everybody wants, you know, to be seen. And, you know, if it's hearsay, then it's solid. You know,
Well, now they're trying to create the news instead of report the news. That's the big difference.
Yeah.
Well, the sad reality too is every generation has their own version of the truth. Let's be honest. Okay. Today's kids, you could feel sorry for, but guess what? This is all they know, and they don't know what they missed in the past, and they probably don't even care. Just being honest.
Imagine Walter Cronkite was alive during this time and he still had his own newscast. Can you imagine what that newscast would be like? Oh my God.
Well, we wouldn't know Walter Cronkite the way we do, and we wouldn't know Joe DiMaggio the way we do, and we wouldn't know Elvis Presley the way we do because they wouldn't be allowed to have any privacy, and they would be the target of constant public vilification. I mean, look at what Chuck Berry and Jerry Lee Lewis, you know, had back in they forget it. They'd have no career. They'd be done. And that would be that. And maybe that's a good thing. You know, I don't know. That's for everybody to decide on their own. But I don't like the fact that the face of evil today hides.
Yeah.
And that goes back to 9/11 because they hid. Okay,
did.
it wasn't a country, it was a movement.
Yeah.
That is the most dangerous thing of all because a country has borders and you know at least who your enemy is. So you don't hear, okay? And it's a huge problem. It really is. The Aaron Rodgers thing really made me want to take the TV and just throw it into the yard. I'm so finished with it. You know? Yeah. What happened to Dan? The cats attacked him? I don't see
Oh,
Dan.
Dan. I don't hear any squealing. I don't hear any squealing.
You guys not see me?
No.
Yeah,
He missed their feedings.
He's not wrong. Hang on.
I saw baby cakes in the
That's
chat.
our-
Talking,
wait.
she's talking about AI and stuff. I think that's AI. I think that's Dan's
Let's,
AI.
let's,
Oh, I
let's,
thought for-
let's
I thought-
domestic this.
He's
I thought
not
for a
wrong.
second you
One of the cats unplugged my camera.
That's great.
Nice.
That is great. I thought for a second you were doing your best John Cena impression. I couldn't see you at all. I was like, wow, what's going on?
Yeah,
here?
not for nothing, Jimmy. I got 11 cats. 11
You
cats.
have 11. Okay, the most I ever had was 9, so we're close. Okay.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what I mean.
we just finished up this week. They're all spayed and neutered now, so they can get the hell out of the house.
All right.
Adios.
Yeah, they got to stop procreating. You're running out of room over there. They're going to wreck your wrestling merchandise, Dan.
I,
You better
I,
watch out.
that's why I got this locked up in here. So I'm like, no way, no way.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
So yeah, I never had a cat odor my whole life until now. So
Yeah.
and we got a beagle, Penny. We got Penny the beagle.
So you're getting that. Where the hell are you, Joe? You're getting out of Iowa? Is that where you are?
Yeah, we're already looking at property up in the Northeast. Iowa is a great place. Centerville is a beautiful small town, but as a city guy, it's a great place to visit, not live.
Yeah. What do you do? What do you do there? Like throw corn on the cob at each other? I mean, what the hell do you got up there?
We're technically in the city, population 5,600. We live right behind it. We live right behind a town square. That's only open, it seems like, every other day, except everything's closed on Sundays and Mondays.
Right.
Sundays and Mondays, it's like a ghost town around
They
here.
roll up the sidewalks.
Now I know why you're always cutting videos. Okay, that's
Yeah,
explains everything. Yep.
And
There we go.
you know what I really miss? You know what I really miss, guys, is the food. I miss Chinese food. There's no good Chinese food. What they consider pizza around here, you might as well take a Ritz cracker and throw some cheese
Yeah,
on
Midwest
it.
pizza is not good.
It's just horrible. They have no idea. I'm living off Barstool and watching him do his pizza reviews and all that stuff, and I'm just salivating. But to get, you guys ever hear of Pizzeria Regina? Those places?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
They want like $150 to mail you 3 small pies, and I'm like, no, I'm good.
What?
With that.
What?
I'll just wait.
Crazy.
Yeah. Brockton, Cape Cod Cafe.
Unbelievable.
So it's the pizza, the Chinese food. JoJo misses the family really a lot. So, we bought the dream home. We got the big ass Victorian and all that stuff, but it's the town. It's too
Yeah.
small. We're city folk.
Yeah.
We've always been city folk, and
Right.
we thought it'd be different here. And
It's a big adjustment.
It is a huge adjustment. We've been here 2 years exactly this past February, and
Yeah.
and they're going through a tough time. The COVID hit this town hard. I mean, businesses closed up. They had a huge factory closed up years ago. Rubbermaid was a big factory around here. And then they have this one big thing every year called Pancake Day, where the town serves everybody. The town serves all the visitors pancakes, because the Pillsbury manufacturing plant back in the 40s used to give their employees pancakes on Saturdays. And when they moved out of town, the city picked it up. So on the third Saturday of every September, they do a thing called Pancake Day. And it's a big deal. Rocky Marciano has been through here. I had Mike Pence. He was at my house this week, the former U.S.
No way.
Yeah.
Don't let me pull a Missy beefcake and say, no way.
Come on! Where is he? Here, tell him I dated Smitty. Yeah, Smitty says hi.
Oh boy.
But
Hey,
so it is what it is.
Bruce, you got any questions for me from the 30 that I can slaughter?
Slaughter.
Mercedes Monet, perhaps?
Monet
cares?
for nothing.
How about
Monet for
Yeah,
nothing.
well, we did a comparison
Yeah,
between
I mean,
Mercedes Monet and John Cena, and how each of them
What?
impact. Yeah. So two polarizing
What?
different things.
really?
Yeah. I said so.
Okay.
The question was from Mercedes Monet's not so surprising debut for AEW to John Cena's performance at the Oscars. Wrestling's always been an interesting genre of entertainment. What did you think of these two contrasting events? Break them down a bit, And which one is going to be more important to the long-term history of wrestling?
Neither. Neither of them mean a damn thing. They were both here and gone. They're not going to mean a damn thing. I think one of you guys said it's amazing what kind of shape John Cena is after all these years, and I agree with that. I think Dan, the champ, said that Mercedes Moné will not move the needle 1 inch, and Dan is 1,000% correct.
Yep.
She won't. And it's no big deal. It's just another cheap pop, and he does like to collect toys. And
That's
this is the
$4.5
latest
million
toy.
bucks.
The women's division over there is absolute diarrhea that won't go down the shitter. And it is what it is. And the Okada thing. Now look, I go back to the New Japan days. I was a subscriber for many years with New Japan. Just in case people don't think that I watch other wrestling and I'm only a Vince McMahon mark or whatever this garbage is. I've always been at heart a purist wrestling fan. I know what a great wrestling match looks like, but I also love entertainment. Have the nerve to love both. You know what I'm saying? So as far as watching Okada on I think maybe Joe said this, that meaningless Saturday night show or whatever it was that he debuted on, and seeing the Young Bucks come out in the whatever the hell they were wearing, what a shame, because Okada is truly great. Now, he has not been ever in the WWE, and I always want the best for the wrestlers that I like. And I think to myself, who's advising you, Okada? Who is advising you? Because if he had come to the WWE, okay, maybe he wouldn't be world champion. And maybe a lot of people would find that insulting. But in the big picture, he would be paid an amazing salary. He wouldn't have to work a dangerous level that most of the AEW guys work on. Okay, so he would be safer health-wise. I don't care what anybody says. I'll swear to the end of time, it is much safer working in the WWE in general than it is in AEW. If you really care about a wrestler's health, that's the facts. Okay. As far as Okada goes, I think it's a shame, because if they had put him with Nakamura and had them reign on the tag team division for a year or two, I wouldn't have no problem with that. I think it would be spectacular. So
bring back the Bullet Club while you're at it. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, well, you could in some form or fashion or another. Of course you could. There's a lot of things you could have done with Okada, and I'm surprised that he would settle for second best, because he's not second best, And I wonder if Kenny Omega's time is completely passed, because Omega probably has second thoughts.
Yeah,
Kenny Omega could have been fantastic in the WWE. I still feel that MJF, if given the proper chance, if he came to the WWE and booked correctly, could do just as well, make more money, and live safely. Much safer than he would have to.
Right.
But these are opinions that a lot of people can't handle. Too bad.
I would like to point out that the video game that Kenny Omega was in charge of developing named the F5 diverticulitis as a jab towards Brock Lesnar, who was suffering from it at the time.
Oh,
that's
wow.
now the disease that Kenny Omega has, that's going to probably keep him off the shelf for indefinitely. So
Holy karma, Batman.
that feels like a karma's a bitch kind of moment to
that's
me.
karma. That's karma.
Right.
My karma ran over my dogma.
RJ Hudson asked.
What do you got?
RJ Hudson's asking, did MJF re-sign with the AEW? And if not, could he show up at WrestleMania?
I don't know his contract status, so I'm not going to.
I don't know his status. I know he was hurting. Did he have surgery?
Yeah. He's legitimately injured.
Yeah, he popped his shoulder and all this.
Yeah, I will say, even if it's just to come out and talk, if his music were to hit at Mania, that you have to have some eardrums surgically replaced from that pop. I'll tell you.
Right. I don't know if this has been discussed, but I've thought about this, and I'm hoping that they do this. When Paul Heyman's inducted into the Hall of Fame, I think it would make great sense for CM Punk to induct him.
Really?
He's a Paul Heyman guy. Okay, the pipe bomb. He said it during the pipe bomb. All right. Yeah. Since he's injured right now, and this is a business, and this is how WWE thinks. They think profit-wise. It makes perfect sense for Punk to induct Paul Heyman. All right. That's just my thought. I think that would make perfect sense. He's a Paul Heyman guy.
But Jimmy, something like that. Jimmy, something like that. Wouldn't you want to promote that though? Wouldn't you want to promote?
You know what?
CM Punk coming in and doing
What is
that?
the one, Joe? What is the one thing that I definitely heard you complaining about on the last pay-per-view? Where are the surprises? Wouldn't that be a nice one?
It would be a nice surprise. So wouldn't Brock Lesnar at this point?
Right.
20-year
Now,
friend.
I heard Lesnar's back on the website. What's the story
He's
with
on
that?
the roster again, isn't he?
Well, that was kind of mixed reviews. He was never taken off the alumni page, but so-called the active roster page. Now he's
Right.
back on the active roster page, and the dirt sheets are going mad about, he's coming back. He's coming back. Look, it's on Peacock. It's on after SmackDown. Heyman's headlining this thing. I said this during the 30. I honestly think that Brock Lesnar, they have a 20-year friendship, both personal and business-wise. It would make sense. But I love the CM Punk idea. I think that'd be
Right.
great.
I think it makes a lot of sense.
I think Punk
I
would do a
gotta- I
lot
gotta
better with
get-
the induction speech.
I got to get this in too. Look, this Hall of Fame class stinks.
Yeah, it does.
Thank you.
It stinks. I'm sorry. I mean, Phil, you know how much I love you, but when I heard you yay for Miss My Via, I'm ready to slam my head
That's
through my
not
mouth.
confirmed. That
You
has
know,
not been confirmed yet. It's not confirmed.
just okay. Well, that's good to hear because so far the list, is just ridiculous. And you know what, Benny? Good for you. You keep talking about Ivan Koloff because as much as I despise a certain other person that always brings up Ivan Koloff, and Benny knows who I'm talking about. You're right. Ivan Koloff should be in the damn Hall of Fame. Demolition should be in the damn Hall of Fame. And I could think of, and this is nothing against the people that they've decided to put on this list, but my God, are you kidding me? There are so
Tony
many more.
Gurley and Rick Martel need to be on that list before
Right.
anybody else.
How many of the
And
guys,
Ivan
how many of the
Koloff.
70s guys are not in there? Like, is Walter Von Erich or Spiros Arion or Victor Rivera? Are any of those guys in?
No,
Victor
not that I know.
Rivera's not.
And
Victor
they
Rivera-
built that company.
No.
The fact that Spirios Arion is not even considered is
That's crazy.
disgrace. That- it's
Spiros
absolutely-
Arion was one of the greatest heels ever.
Yep. He caused more than one riot, and he gave a great "I'm such a prick" interview. Oh my
Yep.
God, what a prick! And I love that he's Greek because I am. So there's always that. But I mean, this
One
this
of many
Hall
who
of Fame
turned on
class-
Chief Jay Strongbow on TV.
Mhm.
No, he was an amazing heel. I mean, not only with Bruno, but then with Backlund.
Yeah. B40 says Tommy Rich, Wildfire, needs to be in
Right.
the Hall of Fame.
That's,
I think
that's
so.
that's a joke. I mean, how on earth is he
Yeah.
not in the Hall of Fame? That's
Yeah, I
an
don't
absolute
get it.
travesty.
And that's not only for his NWA heavyweight championship reign that lasted 6 days, but I mean those memorable bouts with Buzz Sawyer.
Right.
Everybody, he was a Georgia.
He was the main guy in Georgia Championship
was.
Wrestling, man.
Well,
He launched them.
I'll
He
go
filled
one
Naomi
further.
every week.
You mentioned Buzz Sawyer, but compared to some of these names, Buzz Sawyer's
yeah.
a first ballot compared to some of these
Yeah,
names.
no, I
Like,
agree.
are you-
Yeah,
What did we miss something all those years
Well,
ago?
you can't put Arion and Sawyer on the ballot when you're too busy inducting, Kid Rock and Drew Carey. So
yeah, crazy.
Right.
And how would the God is Cyndi Lauper not been inducted yet?
Come on.
I mean, WrestleMania 1. Come on. I mean, there'd be no WrestleMania without the Rock and Wrestling connection. You got Cyndi
I
Lauper.
say that all the
It's
time. Yep.
absolute zero, especially with Wendy Richter already in there.
Yep.
Come on. I don't know.
Right.
This is Vince's
Right.
baby.
When you
It's
really
always
think
Vince's
about-
baby. So,
Mm.
I don't know.
When you really
Triple H-
think about the celebrities, when you really think about the celebrities that are in, the only ones I can think of straight off the top of my head that really should be in is Cyndi Lauper.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson changed everything.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I
Yeah.
know he was there quickly, but that was the night that Nash turned to Bischoff and said, "We're fucked." Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And I
All
was
right,
and I was at
Mike
WrestleMania.
Tyson-
I was there at WrestleMania. Yep.
yeah,
We knocked out
Mike
Shawn
Tyson
Michaels at the
is-
Garden.
is-
I would
there.
I would argue that Mr. T and Donald Trump both deserve it for their without
I'm with
Trump's
you.
early support, you don't get some of the big
I'm-
early pay-per-views.
Right on.
I'm with you.
You know,
I'm
say,
with
and,
you.
and I'm not, and that's not even a political thing. I mean, just from the entire Hall
No.
of Fame setup, and then
Well, that's
Mr.
the other-
T. I
that's-
mean,
Trump's
Yeah.
in there, 2013.
well, I know I'm saying
Trump's
celebrities that deserve it.
No, we're talking about the ones that really belong right
Yeah.
now.
Oh, really?
We got
Yeah. Oh,
four.
yeah.
Yeah,
We got 4 so far. Can you think of any other ones? What do we got? We got Trump. We got T. We got Tyson, and we all believe Lauper should be in. Who else? Who else
I
that
don't
should
know, I-
really be in?
Well, we mentioned Stallone before, and some people, he's had a positive effect on the business,
he's
kind
never
of
involved
casting
in
wrestling
wrestling.
in
I
his
mean,
movies
there is
No.
one.
and launching Hogan,
There is one celebrity name that always gets dropped, and I can sum it up in 6 words:
Uh-oh.
How much does that guy weigh?
How much does that guy weigh? How much does that?
Playboy Buddy Rose.
The best guest commentator ever.
Who?
Euchre? No.
How much does that
Who
guy
said
weigh?
that? Oh, I know this too, Dan.
Come on,
Dan.
guys, really?
No, go, Dan. Give me a minute here. I'm trying to think
Dan,
of
I've
it.
had 2 hours sleep and a flight canceled, so you're not gonna make me feel bad. What do you got?
It's Art Donovan.
Yes.
Art Donovan.
Oh,
wow.
jeez.
The entire
I'm not-
pay-per-view.
I'm not
Oh my
putting
God!
him
How,
in
how
just
much
for
does that guy?
that. Would you
He
stop
asked,
it?
he asked how much does that guy weigh to every single person that came out for 3 hours.
Okay.
Nah, you might-
It's funny, but I mean,
Phenomenal moment.
like a legendary impact, like Lauper and
No,
Dean
I was being
and-
facetious.
I would take Alex Trebek. I would take Alex Trebek over that. At least he hosted WrestleMania.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
he
Dan
was
is so-
Alex
Dan is so
Trebek
good,
was
I believed
the
every word he was saying.
he was the
really
guest
is
ring announcer at
very easily.
WrestleMania 7.
Yeah.
Right.
Foxhole
Yeah.
Willie says Liberace.
Oh God, here we go.
You know,
Andy
I-
Warhol.
Now, what do you think? What do you think about Ali being put in?
Well, absolutely.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree with that.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Him being ringside at the first WrestleMania cemented that this was a real event that people need to pay attention to.
It's
Oh, when he
the
took a
Tyson-
when he took
it's
when he
like
took
the
a
Tyson
spike.
Yeah, it's like
Piper.
he was Tyson before Tyson. He's the
Right.
yeah.
Right.
Well,
Yeah,
he made an
he-
appearance
he and
on
Inoki were
WWF TV in
before.
1976.
Right.
He and
Right.
he and
Right.
Inoki
Took an
were
airplane
MMA.
spin from Gorilla
Let's
Monsoon.
not forget.
Mhm.
Let's not forget the most memorable, the most important Ali appearance is when Gorilla Monsoon took him for a little airplane.
That's
ride,
what, yeah.
Definitely.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
In
which
Philly,
is
I think.
unbelievable to me. So
Yeah.
in those days, that was as
A
believable.
trivia
as
question:
something.
Who was in the ring with Monsoon that stepped out when Ali came in?
Oh, here we
Ron
go.
Shaw.
Was it Ron
No.
Shaw? No.
Nope.
Baron
Baron Mikel
Miguel?
Cicluna.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know,
Great,
That,
the great
that right
Cicluna.
there in the in the chat, RJ Hudson said Andy Kaufman. As far as
Yes.
wrestling goes, I could see that, but maybe the WWF should be purely a WWF Hall of Fame.
You know what? Okay, you know, the
That's tough.
WWF, I agree when you say the WWF, but let's face it, WWE went global, and I wish they were more responsible with who they put in the Hall of Fame, but I'm glad at least they have some responsibility to acknowledge some of these greats. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm not pleased with how
If
they
you're-
go about it.
If you're gonna
But-
give the thumbs up to the WWE having territory guys in the WWE Hall of Fame, then absolutely Kaufman should be in the celebrity wing.
Right. Andy Kaufman changed everything. I believe, and I've talked with Mike about this many times. If you don't have Andy Kaufman throwing that coffee on Jerry Lawler on Late Night with Dave Letterman, I'm not so sure you have everything that follows.
Yeah, I mean, no,
Okay.
to comment, B40 mentioned, yeah, we're not saying Kaufman should be in. We're talking about celebrities that deserve it, whether they're in or not.
Right.
Well,
as much as
You know,
I
and
love-
ironically, Vince Senior turned down the Kaufman angle. He could have been here. He could have been
Yeah.
in New York.
right.
I-
Well, Vince Senior didn't think like Vince Jr. And you know what? Thank God. I mean,
That whole
Vince-
that whole Andy Kaufman, David Letterman, that whole thing with Jerry the King Lawler, that was all choreographed by Bill Apter. Believe it or not, if you read his book,
Really?
Yes.
he talked about it.
Okay.
He put them together. And there's actually a good little chapter in his book, is Wrestling Fixed. I didn't know it was broken. There's a good plug for you, Bill. Anyways, in one of the chapters, he's getting in a cab in New York City, Bill Apter, and out comes Judd Hirsch from Taxi. Remember Judd Hirsch?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Of course.
Alex.
Oh yeah,
And-
Alex
And
Rieger.
Bill Apter was a big fan of Judd Hirsch, and he went to shake Judd Hirsch's hand, and Judd Hirsch said, "No, I don't want to talk to you. You ruined the show Taxi for us." And it was all because that he took Andy Kaufman away from Taxi, which was like the
Wow.
#1 rated sitcom at the time.
Right, it was
And
great.
what happened was,
Right.
and Judd Hirsch was generally mad at Bill Apter for arranging that. And the whole
Wow.
thing was a work. And the night after the Letterman show and all that stuff, Jerry the King Lawler went to Bill Apter's hotel room. They opened the door, and guess who was sitting down? And it was
Yeah.
it was Andy Kaufman. The whole thing
Yeah,
was
right.
a work. It was a work. It's a great read if you get a chance. But why isn't Bill Apter in the Hall of Fame? I mean,
Bill
this guy-
Apter made Andy
this guy put all
Kaufman's
the
lifelong
photos in
dream come
magazines.
true.
He put all the
Yeah.
photos in the magazines, and then in 1984, Vince Jr. said, no wrestling magazines are out at ringside anymore because I'm going to have my own wrestling magazine.
Right.
And then
That's a no-brainer for Bill Apter. Jeez.
And then here's another thing. The night Hulk Hogan won the title, Hulk Hogan knew he was winning the title. He called Bill Apter and said, get a ticket, try and get as many photos as you can. I'll meet you at the Hotel New Yorker, which is across the street from Madison Square Garden, and I'll come over and you can have the first pictures of me with the WWF title, the big green belt,
There you go.
all that. Bill Apter
There you
was the
go.
one that got the phone call. Linda called him that morning. He kept his word.
Right.
So, Bill Apter, huge ballot for the Hall of Fame. I've been positioning for that for
That's
months.
a no-brainer.
And
Yep.
so when you talk about the Lawler Coffin thing, there'd be none of that without Bill Apter. And the magazines. They're called the Apter mags for a reason.
Guys, let me offer, Joe. Let me interject and say Regis Philbin. I don't know if he's in, but he's done a lot for pro wrestling.
Well, just
going back to the 50s, getting Freddie Blassie on there, and just so many wrestlers.
Well, that was a stop for all the WrestleMania opponents when Regis and Kathy Lee were on. They were always on at one point.
Oh yeah, but for decades.
Yeah. So I mean, definitely Regis Philbin if he's not already in there.
So,
yeah.
Maria says, how about this one? Snoop Dogg.
What do you got?
Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg.
I gotta, I actually can't disagree with that just because of the performance from a few years ago when he thought.
Well, I can already tell you who would induct Snoop Dogg. It'd be Mercedes Moné.
Right.
The cousins, right? So.
Yep.
Assuming she's allowed back in the building.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
But
think
wasn't Snoop Dogg in the Hall of Fame a couple years
away
ago?
from. I think we're getting away from the guys and pros that really left a real impact. Though.
Sure.
I mean, congratulations, Snoop. You were great one night. What is that? You know what I mean? I'm talking.
I hear you.
Real historical impact, like an Ali or a Tyson, or the significance of what they did. Bill Apter, of course. I mean, come on. But I wanted to throw this out there because you guys mentioned Hogan a few times. The more I talk with Karen and stuff, I really learn a lot. You do. I mean, she knew all these people back in the day and traveled with them and everything, and came across all the names that we all read in the magazines because she was living that life. Hulk Hogan is a good man, okay? He was very classy with her, and he was very respectful of this business. He got his leg busted when he first tried to get into this business. He went through all the things that we seem to admire about everybody else, but Hulk Hogan, the guy who protected his spot after he got to the top of a mountain that we could only dream of.
Right.
He got there, and everything that I've heard from her, very respectful guy, not a Ric Flair. Okay, it's funny how if you knew about Ric Flair, I'm not going to get into it, but oh my God, this man! I mean, in a lot of ways, he makes Vince not look too bad. Trust me. Okay, I mean the guy's disgusting. It's like, are you serious? I'll respect the privacy and stuff, and I won't get into deep. But my Lord, when I see Hogan getting killed the way he does, I get so frustrated because, I understand he's the face of the entertainment that took away your precious territories and all this other garbage, but those territories didn't trust each other,
right?
Which gets completely lost in all of this, that they would have gladly backstabbed each other at the drop of a dime. And I know that also to be a fact. Okay. So it's kind of funny at the end. Look, the big fish, the smartest fish happened to be the biggest fish, and he won.
Yeah.
Because he knew what to do, and we all respect Bobby the Brain Heenan, right? I recently saw a quote from Bobby on YouTube, and if you listen to Bobby Heenan, man, you will learn a lot. Okay, Bobby the Brain Heenan said that no one was able to navigate and understand where TV was heading than Vince. No one would have known what to do. No one did know what to do. They were too busy all stabbing each other.
No, I
Vince
agree
was
with
smart
that.
enough to capitalize on that. I'm grateful. I'm grateful that Vince McMahon was able to turn WrestleMania into the Super Bowl. Okay, because we used to have to hide the fact that we were wrestling fans, and now we all get to talk to each other and be lucky enough to have a great family of folks listening in, and we don't have to hide no more. Okay, I agree. I wish that it was still real. All right,
I remember those days.
But they were great. But you know what, though? I'm still very grateful that we don't have to be treated like a Kiss fan in 1977.
Oh, geez.
Hey, I was one of those too.
Yeah, and you know what that was like?
Oddities, the
You
wrestling
ever had
fans back in the day.
Ever had the Zeppelin guys walk up to you and make fun of you when you're 10
Oh,
years
yeah.
old with your Kiss
Oh, yeah.
shirt?
Yeah.
You know, meanwhile, I
Yes.
love Zeppelin. I'm like, what are you making fun of me for? Kiss is great.
Yep.
You know, I mean,
Kiss Alive 2, my
Yeah.
favorite album. Kiss Alive 2. I love it. I love Kiss.
Yeah.
really? Okay.
I used
all
to
right.
I used to try and stay after school and try and rub the makeup off the magazines to try and see what Gene and them would look like without any makeup on.
All right.
And then they went on MTV and undressed. So I was like, wow.
Humor me quickly on this. Dan, God of Thunder, Kiss Alive 2 or the studio? I say Kiss Alive 2.
Who's Kiss again?
No.
Oh,
For
jeez.
God's sakes.
I'm kidding, of course. I'm kidding. Jesus, that's
God of Thunder.
I gotta look up Ace Frehley. He's coming around here. Hold
Oh,
on.
Eddie, if you don't know
Wow.
God of Thunder, man, that's a killer. Okay, you don't
10,000
know.
Hey,
Check it
Ace
out.
Frehley just launched an album, 10,000 Volts. Good stuff.
yeah.
Is it
Yep.
really? Is it
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, it is.
Okay,
He's
that's-
doing really good. He's doing really good. I
that's
follow him.
interesting.
I follow him on social media. He's doing really good for himself. I was shocked.
All right.
He had a
That
line at
must
the
be-
Sam Ash record store a couple of weeks ago around the block.
That
had like
must,
2,000 people.
That must be pissing Paul and Gene off.
Oh, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is.
That's great.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Yep.
What else you got for me, Bruce? You got anything else goofy? What do you got?
I
Bruce
wasn't
still
pre-
awake?
I wasn't
How
really
about the
prepared for the
labels
show
in the
today,
center?
but
How about the
Hey,
Prime
Bruce took a
Energy
nap, I
drink
think.
label?
yeah, what'd you
Oh,
think of
gee.
that, Jimmy?
Oh,
Before
Yeah, in the middle of the ring. How about that,
Alright.
Jimmy?
all
before,
right.
The
uh,
advertise.
Okay.
somebody
um,
before somebody sets Jimmy off again.
I'm
like I
liking the
said earlier,
food.
the wife's gone, and so I got the house to myself. But I do have to go tend to the animals because it's after 9 o'clock. So
Translation: order a pizza.
The
See,
friend, yeah.
no, I mean, food's fine. I've got a boxed up doggy downstairs that's been there for a few hours. So
All right.
Good seeing
well,
you,
say hi,
Dana.
say hi to Fluffy for me.
Fluffing.
Hi, Fluffy.
You can leave, but leave the cats on.
Yeah, leave the cats up.
Oh,
thanks
my
for
God.
everybody, and great chat tonight too, guys. Both on and the chat box. So
Good stuff,
Great show.
man.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Good
Dan. We'll
stuff,
see you.
Dan. Take
We'll
it
see you
easy.
next week.
see you
See
next
you,
week,
champ.
guys. I'll
Peace
be
and
uh,
love. Peace and
be
love
be
is
raring
what
to defend the title.
Love, peace, and chicken grease.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Good night,
geez.
guys.
There you go.
Good night.
Have a good one, brother.
Prime energy drink. What do you think? All these ads.
Boy, oh boy.
All right. All right.
Just get rid of the commercials. We'll be all set.
Yeah,
Yeah,
might as well.
uh,
First of all, I am a fan of European football, which is of course we call soccer here because we're idiots.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm a huge fan of European football and have been for decades at this point. I'm a Man United fan, and look, a long time ago they did this over there. Okay, they've been doing this in Europe for a long time. They put the damn advertisements on the jerseys. The Yankees
yeah.
started doing it.
Oh, yeah.
I hate it. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. I hate seeing Prime in the middle of the ring. I despise this. Okay, you're gonna make your money one way or the other. We're not
Yeah.
fooling anybody here. But when you have to sit there and do that on top of it, now you've insulted my intelligence. I already know that you're money mongrels. Doesn't matter. See, I'm fair. I'll bash it if I don't like it. Okay, I don't care if the WWE's doing it or a little tiny independent place is doing it. This is bullshit. Get that fucking logo the fuck out of the ring. All right,
Yeah.
there's no place for that. Get that shit out of there. All right, the Yankees are putting shit on. How dare you, Benny? Help me out. How dare
I know,
you
right?
soil the New York Yankee uniform that goes back to the Babe and Lou? And here we go. 1923, 27, 28, 32, 36, 37, 38, 39, 41, 43, 47, 49, 50, 51, 52,
1,
53,
52, 53.
56, 58, but forever. 61, 62,
61,
67,
62.
78, 96, 98, 99, 2000, 2009. Are you serious? You put a logo on that? What are you doing?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Love
By
it.
the way, you can
Love
look up those years. That's every single championship.
Oh yeah. That's amazing.
I can verify that, and he is correct.
And you can thank the Boston Red Sox for that. So
What? What? You know, Joe, we're both fossils, and I'd like to let you know that in our lifetime, the count is now 7 for us and 4 for you.
I
Cut it
know,
out.
I know.
You
But we
cut
gave
that
you
out.
we gave you the first 10, right? With Babe Ruth. You know what I mean? We set the precedent for you.
If you don't have Lou Gehrig hitting behind him, and the Yankees
I
smart
know,
enough
I
to
know.
realize that pitcher can hit, which you guys did not
I know.
realize.
I know.
You see, it once again. Once upon a time there was a guy named Colonel Jacob Rupert who has a monument, I believe, at Yankee Stadium. He was the Vince McMahon of his time. He built the original Yankee Stadium and saw Babe Ruth as his Hulk Hogan. Okay, so that's the reason why. At the end of the day, and I believe it or not, I have huge respect for the Red Sox. If they don't put Joe's brother Dominic in the Hall of Fame someday, I'm furious about this. The guy hit 298.
Not Vince though. Dom, yes.
Lifetime 298 hitter, I believe, and did nothing but win Gold Gloves and stuff. The guy was fantastic for the Red Sox.
Him and
He's
Pesky.
great outfielder.
Pesky's in the hall. Why shouldn't he be? I've always said that.
Oh,
Yeah, Dom was a great ball player.
Yeah, right.
Dominic
Overshadowed by
DiMaggio
his
gets-
brother, of course.
He gets but I mean, come on. I mean, they're not gonna pull that shit with Eli when it comes to Peyton. Eli's going in.
Here's a funny story. I was at the flag raising ceremony in 08 when the Red Sox won in 07, and they were celebrating Dominic and Johnny Pesky. They drove out in an old car, and I saw them in the runway before that, and I want to have one of my baseballs autographed. I threw the ball at Dominic, and he put his hand up and caught it. Guy was like 8 years old. I'm like, that's a ball player. That's a ball player right there.
Still a
Johnny Pesky looked at me like, you want to take my head off? But Dominic's like, yeah, where's the pen? Like it was nothing. Look up, boom, there you go. Sign away.
Since we're talking Hall of Fame, here's my ultimate pet peeve.
Yeah.
How dare they hold death against Thurman Munson?
Thank you. Amen.
How dare they? Because when we were kids growing up, it was real simple. Bench, Fisk.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thurman
I agree.
Munson
That was
had
extraordinary.
nothing left to prove. He was Rookie of the Year. He was MVP. You don't dare pitch to him in the playoffs. He had an amazing postseason batting average. He had the rings, and you did not run on him.
He had a rookie of the year. He had an MVP. He had several Gold Gloves.
Yeah, 3.
The only thing Fisk did was live longer than him. Munson was a far superior catcher.
Well, here's
it was
the bottom
Bench
line.
and Munson. That was it. 1-2.
And here's the most important thing that did separate him from the others. Bench had the most power, obviously. Fisk had the most longevity. Look, they're all Hall of Famers, okay?
Yeah.
But what Munson had, only Mike Piazza came around. Catchers didn't hit 292 career averaged in those days, okay?
So why is Munson not in the Hall of Fame then?
Because
he died.
Death cheated his legacy, and he didn't accumulate enough numbers.
So Mike Monty's piping in with he sucked and he could not fly a plane.
Oh man.
He was really hey, he's my partner, and I'll give him this much. He was terrible at takeoffs and landings. I'll give him that.
He's up, he's down. I don't know. I'm sure
he's right.
I don't think
he's probably sick of hearing me bitch about Munson.
But you know what, Jimmy? We should tell everybody why did Munson even fly a plane?
I'll be right back.
Okay. Phil might have cats too. He has to feed.
I'll be right back.
There was the shadow that because Munson was from Ohio, and because when Reggie got here, Thurman had a lot to do with getting Reggie Jackson here. Believe it or not. Okay.
Right.
And he thought that he was promised that he was allegedly promised that he was going to get similar comparative money to Reggie once Reggie signed his contract. And at the time, Reggie's contract was huge because that's what the numbers were in those days. He got something ridiculous like 5 years and whatever amount of money, today would be like not even a bench player's money. But Reggie got his money, and Thurman didn't. So he was very upset about that. And there was always this specter looming that the Cleveland Indians, because now the free agency was in motion, that Thurman may go home to the Cleveland Indians. So what happened was supposedly is that he went to George and he said, I miss my family. I think I want to go home. And George, who had made him the first captain since Lou Gehrig, and I don't know if you know that story, but Mrs. Gehrig actually called George Steinbrenner when he was named captain of the Yankees, and she said, why are you doing this? After Lou died, there shouldn't be another captain. And his response to Mrs. Gehrig was very respectfully, well, you don't know Thurman Munson. Okay. And Thurman Munson was the greatest captain the Yankees have ever seen, basically, outside of no one, quite honestly. I thought he was the greatest captain I've seen in my lifetime. He played the game to win. He never cheated the fans. He never ever slacked or anything. So what
Right.
happened was he somehow managed to convince George that he could get a plane. He got a license. Obviously, he must have been somewhat skilled. He got a license, and he was flying home after
Yeah.
ball games. Do you realize what kind of family commitment this guy had? He was
That's huge.
flying home to Ohio and then coming back for ball games. And George let him do this because, number one, George loved him and valued him and knew
He
how
would fly
important
home
he
every
was.
night? Would he fly home every night?
Often. I don't know about every night, but I know he was doing it
Like,
often.
It was
after
quite
his series
frequently,
was
though.
playing? Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
Reggie was on flights with him. He took Reggie on flights. He took other guys from the team on flights, so they had all been on flights with him. He had done it for, I think, a year or two when,
Wow.
unfortunately, he was practicing takeoffs and landings. And like Mike said, lousy pilot, wrong day, wrong time, and he was trapped in the cockpit and they tried to get him out and they couldn't. And he died,
Jeez.
but he's not in the Hall of Fame because he had the nerve to pass away. And that drives me crazy because he was the best catcher, or at least in the conversation of the decade of the
Yeah.
70s, and he won every award you can win, and he won
Best
championships.
AL
And his
catcher,
numbers retired.
easily.
I mean, what more do you want from the man? I'm sorry he
Yeah,
passed
that
away.
Yeah, so
makes zero sense.
a couple more comments from Mike Monty. Never compare Munson to Bench, not even close.
Uh-oh.
And then
That's
Jim,
fair. But
and then
that's fair statistically because Johnny Bench hit the most home runs until Piazza passed him.
and
for
then
catches.
Jimmy,
Well, I get
be
it.
glad he didn't fly your plane.
Oh yeah, well you know what? I don't know what happened overnight, but apparently maybe his cousin did. I don't know what's going on. I didn't get to New York, so
Wow. Unbelievable.
Yeah,
leave it to Mike to have a soft spot for his own team. What's wrong
Yeah,
with
see-
you, Mike?
Right. Yeah.
It's
See,
unbelievable.
growing up a Red Sox fan, I mean, Dervin Munson was the guy you wanted to hate, but that's when you learn at a young age that's how good they are. You always
Yeah,
hated
no.
the guys you always hated the
And-
good guys. You know what I mean?
and-
Especially when they're
and-
Yankees and
and-
all that stuff, and that's a regional thing. But
Yeah,
you know,
and to
I
bounce-
respected the Yankees. I respected the Yankees. I respected the Oakland Athletics when I was there at the first game at Fenway when Jose Canseco and Mark McGuire batted back to back, and I looked at these two giants sitting behind home plate, and I'm going, these guys are freaking huge. I go, baseball has officially changed. Now they're
Yeah.
hiring. They were called the Bash Brothers back then, but
Yeah.
I was in the land of Yastrzemskis and Rices and Evans and all that stuff, and
Mhm.
we always I ran home from school when I was 7, 8 years old to see Bucky Dent friggin' crush our dreams and all that stuff. So
Right.
I get it,
Right.
but you respect that. You grow up as a sport. You're a baseball fan first, and then your heart lies where your heart lies. It is
Right.
my opinion. Just like any other sport, you know what I mean? Whether it's football,
Yeah.
basketball, I love the NFL. I think it's turning into a fixed sport if you ask me. But I got 22 years out of the Patriots after 20 plus years of losing. We got 22 years of winning. So,
Right.
it is
Right.
what it is. For the New York Yankees to be the dynasty they are for that many years, I mean,
Yeah.
even the Celtics had a drought. Even the Celtics had a drought for a while. They were the dominant
Yeah.
team in the 60s.
Yeah.
It was always the Celtics, Yankees. They controlled the 60s, and and then things went south in the 70s, and a guy named Larry Bird showed up and changed that for a couple
Yep.
of years. So,
Bill, in my opinion, Bill Russell is one of the most underrated players ever.
yeah, but that's because the press hated him. He hated the press, just like Ted Williams.
Because
Ted
he told
Williams
it like it
press.
was.
I mean, Boston is a bad place to be if you do not like the
Bill
press.
Russell
I'm
spoke
sure
his
New York's
mind.
the same way. New York is
Bill
probably the
Ru-
same way.
Bill Russell is the greatest winner in the history of basketball, so they can just eat shit.
Hands
you know,
down.
recognize.
10
Yeah.
rings, 11 rings. I mean,
Yeah,
it's-
he's got 10.
Yeah, plus-
He's the Yogi Berra of basketball. Yogi had 10 rings.
Well, he won that, and then didn't he? He won 2 national championships at San Francisco.
Yeah.
And I think he won an Olympic medal besides that. He won everywhere.
Yeah,
Yep.
no, Bill Russell was an all-time.
and yet Will Chamberlain gets all the accounds.
and this
Well,
year,
you know,
this year
Head to head,
Celtics.
Bill Russell always came out on top.
I
I'll
don't.
tell you
because
what,
Will-
though, nowadays Chamberlain's getting disrespected.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he
I
slept
don't know
with
if you-
10,000 women, right?
I don't know if you've seen the people's versions of the 5 greatest all-time players. The guy's not even on the list. He averaged
really?
50 points
Wow.
a game one season.
Yeah.
50 points a game? His
That's
average for a season? I
Yeah,
mean, that
that's
guy's he's inhuman. What
Yeah.
do you mean he's not one of the greatest 5 basketball players of all time? Oh, he's only got 2 rings. Shut up.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Are you guys watching about basketball now? It's the NBA is it's competitive now. It's actually probably one of the better years than probably one of the best years the last 20 years.
I don't watch it
I won't-
religiously anymore. Yeah, I don't watch
No,
it like I used to.
I will not watch a bunch of dudes run up and down the court and not play defense. I'm sorry, basketball stinks. Nope.
Well, that was the All-Star
Not doing
game.
it.
There's the game it's definitely getting a lot more competitive again. I mean, you have some talent
Right.
that's at levels that we've never
Hey
seen
Bruce,
before.
who's the best team in the league? Who's the best team in the NBA right now?
The Celtics. The Celtics.
Hands down.
Gotta-
Look at
I mean,
you counting. Look at you counting your rings before they happen.
listen, I will tell you.
I haven't watched,
you-
I haven't
you-
watched the Celtics team since Pierce Garnett and all those guys played.
Yeah,
in
but
08.
but the Denver Nuggets, they're a monster. It's
They
it's
won it
gonna be-
last year, right?
They won it last year. Yeah,
Mike,
that's joking.
Mike, they're killing me. They're talking about the Nuggets. Where's Mike? Have Mike get in here.
Go Nuggets.
Unbelievable.
Listen, I would love to talk about. Well, the Knicks are on a tear too. I mean, what are they number 4 in the East right now? 5 in the East. So
That makes them on a tear.
We're talking
I
about
was
the
in
Knicks.
high school the last time they won anything.
I've
I'm
grown up
old.
a Knicks fan, and '99 was really the only decent season they've had in my lifetime.
I live in Iowa. Another reason Iowa is kind of a bummer is there's no pro teams in Iowa. They live off the college
Yeah.
sports around here.
Yeah.
But the one good thing that's happening this year is Caitlin Clark and the Iowa girls basketball
Yeah,
team.
she's unreal.
If you haven't seen Caitlin Clark play, this is a once in a lifetime ball player. This girl is like Larry Bird. It's just she shoots from half court, for Christ's sake, like it's nothing. It's
Right.
averaging 30. And now she's the highest scorer ever, man and
male or
female side.
female. Male
Yep.
or
So
female.
she,
Well, here I go again, causing controversy. Who the fuck cares? Maravich, get the fuck out of here.
She
Just
beat
stop
Pete
it.
Maravich. She surpassed him.
Yeah, but she played more
what
games than
did-
Maravich.
Was she playing against the guys Pete Maravich played against? Okay, I mean, let's give me the all-time top 5 women team. Line them up against the all-time 5. Let's have it. Let's see what happens. 211 to 20. Okay,
Totally
stop
get it, but
Congratulations, you're doing great, girl. I love it. That's great,
Listen-
but I'm not gonna put you with Maravich. What the? Stop!
Jimmy,
Listen,
Jimmy, have you seen her play yet? Have you seen anything?
Yes,
Have you?
yes, I get all of that. Now I want her to go up against Anthony Mason and Charles Oakley in the post.
Well, you might see that if this transgender thing keeps going
geez.
on. So you never know.
Listen.
Oh, God.
Tell me she isn't good. We need somebody like her
I'm trying to
because
eat.
with the
Oh.
way women's sports is going, with some of these weird athletes that are joining, we need women like her in women's sports. We need that.
Look, I agree, Bruce. I get all of that. That she's really great for the women's, But I'm with Bill Burr, who did a little rant on WNBA. Why the hell are you women not supporting that league? Why did the New York Liberty start at Madison Square Garden and now play in my backyard? What is going on? Okay, so you can spout all this internet love and all this other garbage. Not that you guys are doing that, but I'm just saying. And back the damn league. Okay,
I
make it
agree.
big time. Turn it into
Make it as interesting as make it as interesting as her story was this year going through college, and people would be watching the WNBA. Unfortunately, there's nothing. There is no great story in it. It's not that there aren't.
She's gonna go to
Either
the
are the,
WNBA, and even if she dominates the WNBA, it's not going to be what it should be.
Well, I don't
All
think
right.
she'll dominate the WNBA. I think she'll be good for the WNBA. She won't dominate. She won't dominate, but she's going to put on a show. She's going to put butts in seats, and
Right.
depending on where she gets drafted, she's opted for the draft this year, so
Right.
she's doing that. So, hey, who
Right.
knows? Maybe that's the Larry Bird they need in the WNBA to get this thing going. I don't know.
To be
I mean, look how
to
many
be
years.
determined.
Look how many years the NBAs were in the toilet until Magic and Bird came along.
Right.
And all of a sudden,
I-
CBS
okay.
said, "Oh my God, we struck gold. Let's put these guys on TV in front of everybody every Sunday."
Let's look at a couple other analogies. Some of the biggest fights right now in UFC are women. Some of the best wrestling going on in the WWE now is women. So,
Mhm.
is there another sport that might break through like that? And
Right.
so
Right.
Bowling,
But it
bowling.
ain't
Bowling.
gonna be football. We can be safe with that one.
Lingerie
But,
Football League.
Yeah, it
Bowling.
ain't gonna be football. I doubt it'll ever be baseball, even though I could see it. Imagine a chick with a wicked curveball. Sure, why not?
I'm
Why
telling you
not?
right now, bowling. Watch out for bowling. Bowling's
Well,
getting big.
we
I'm
go.
telling you,
I
the
can't.
women.
Ladies golf.
no, it is.
I know you.
Bowling has gained momentum in the last 4 to 5 years, especially coming out of COVID. Bowling is huge.
It's
What is-
huge.
Yeah, it's getting
What
huge
is it?
again. I mean, I would have never thought. I mean,
Oh, boy.
I would have never thought
What-
it would come back.
What is coming back? I'm sorry. What do you say?
Like you say, bowling.
Bowling.
It's
Oh,
on,
bowling. It's huge. A
Yeah,
big
it's all
thing
over
now.
TV again, which is crazy.
Hey, you know, on the Monty and the Pharaoh. Hey, Jimmy, on the Monty and the Pharaoh channel, I have an interview up with
I
Kyle
know.
Troop.
I
Hey, his
know.
father was Guppy Troop. Remember Guppy Troop?
I know.
This
I
guy.
thought to myself, we're never going to live this down. Joe's going to be like talking about this one for years. But,
Well,
but
Kyle-
you got to do me a favor though. Let me know when you get Pete Weber and he's all pissed off and he gives you a
Oh, I'd love to get.
Oh,
Pete
yeah.
Weber. That'd be good.
sound bites.
Yeah, you want to get him? Nobody
Then
can
I'm
beat me.
now you would have me. Yeah, now you would have me because Pete Weber is just, he's engaging. That guy was interesting,
Well,
And
those are the names I
do
remember growing
when-
up. Yep.
I do.
Marshall
remember
Holman
early
was the
where
other
I
guy.
could I could tell you about Earl Anthony and Mark Roth
Earl
and
Anthony.
Marshall Holman.
Mike
I know
Albee,
all about
Mike
those
Albee,
guys,
all those guys. Oh yeah, all those guys.
you
Great.
know? Look at
That's
wait,
what
we got Phil chewing. Hey Phil, how you
Phil,
doing? What are you
what
eating?
the hell is Phil
What's
eating?
that?
What do you got going on there?
Wait a minute. Is that a cat on a roll? What are you eating?
What is that?
Oh.
Is that bread and butter?
Yeah.
What do you get? Pasta? You get some
Yeah,
marinara going
yeah,
there?
just
or
had
what?
some pasta. Mhm.
Nice.
Oh, Mike, you
Look
gotta
at
help me.
Tony.
The guy's eating his dinner on camera. What is
I'm not
going
gonna.
on? If you belch, well, actually, belching might get a soundbite. You might.
Joe Myers says we're getting Pete Weber. All right, we're gonna get Pete Weber just for Jimmy Farrow. We're gonna contact Pete Weber and get him on the What a Day show.
Marshall
My
Holman
favorite-
from Medford, Oregon.
My
Who's
favorite
that?
was Mark Roth. I thought Mark Roth.
Oh,
was
Mark
the
Roth
shit.
was good. Yeah.
That guy was a wild man. He bowled like a wild man. I thought
yeah.
he was cool. Can't believe
I
we're
get-
talking about bowling. Kill me
I've been
now.
getting into this so much now since interviewing Kyle Troop. It comes down to like the oil surface on each lanes. They can switch balls now. They can, they do the re-racks and all that. They're only allowed one time out. There's now a 30-second clock where you step up and when you grab your ball, you have 30 seconds to bowl. And what they used to do is, if you didn't bowl within the 30 seconds, you got a penalty or a fine. Now you get one warning and then they take the frame away. So these guys get to get up, they got to bowl, and they got to sit down. So it's kind of neat.
I think the loser after every match should be blown up. That would bring ratings. Just blow them up, explode them like Daffy Duck. I can only perform this trick once.
Somebody, Foxhole Willie, candlepins for cash. Did you guys have that around there? Or was that a New England thing? Probably a New England thing.
What was
Candlepin bowling. Have you guys ever heard of candlepin bowling?
No.
I watch it on YouTube all the time. It's very entertaining.
Yeah.
Okay.
There used to be a show.
I was a pen pal on Bowling for Dollars. Anybody remember that
Well,
show?
that's the same type of thing.
Oh,
Bowling
yeah.
for dollars. Same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, candlepins for cash. Candlepins for cash. Every shot you made money. Phil, you remember that, right?
Yeah, they used to shoot out of Natick, Massachusetts.
Bob Gamere,
Bob Gamere, and then Don Gillis after.
Oh, boy.
Great Gamere.
Don
He
Gillis
went to
was the
jail, by the
announcer,
way.
right? Yeah.
Well, Don Gillis was Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Yep. That's
Bob
right.
Gamere went to jail, I believe, for some pretty
Yeah,
bad
he was
things.
gambling. He used to gamble.
Yeah, and other things.
Yeah,
But, well, yeah.
He did the Jimmy Farrow diet. He liked that cocaine. Yeah.
Do you
Oh, he didn't
remember,
gamble.
Joe, what the song was they played? Do you?
Wow. Don't file much, Joe. What are you talking about? Unbelievable.
I'm
Wait,
kidding.
Is it because I look like Artie Lang? Is that what?
No, Artie Lang. I look like
He
Artie
blew
Lang.
up like a tick, didn't he?
Yeah, well.
Artie blew up like a tick, huh?
It's hilarious too. I always hear these people comparing me. I got to be honest. I never ever really watched or know anything about Artie Lang. I'm surprised when I hear the comparison. But Mike told me it's a good thing. Don't worry about it. So obviously Artie must have done something right.
Artie was a good character. Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah,
Artie
he's got-
played with Norm Macdonald in Dirty Work, didn't he?
Did
He might
I
have.
have no idea.
He might have.
Yeah,
Just
great
moved
movie.
that to the curb. I don't even know.
He ruined his nose from all that cocaine.
Don the barber said Bob Gamere got arrested for kiddie porn.
That's exactly right. That's what I was
Oh,
alluding
good.
to. Hey, we'll ask Don the barber if he knows this trivia question. What was the song they used to play at the end of Candlepins for Cash?
Oh,
this-
jeez.
Who the fuck knows? Phil,
You
were
guys,
there.
I know you're a music guy, but you're not from New England, so
Okay.
Somebody just mentioned community auditions.
star of the day,
Dave.
who will it be? You remember?
Dave Maynard.
Yes.
Him and Mike Milbury were the only two celebrities out of Winthrop, Mass.
hmm
We haven't jumped the shark. We've somersaulted it. Oh, man. What is going on here?
It's a
Unbelievable.
Thursday night.
The answer is The Hustle by the McCoys.
I see
That's what
that.
they used to play after
You're the
that?
hustle,
Really?
Man McCoy, right?
My goodness.
So Phil, I'm truly bummed that we don't get a chance to meet this weekend. This
Me too,
absolutely-
brother. It'll happen.
This sucks on so many different levels, and I'd like to briefly say thank you to Jerry Lawler for being a jerk. Thanks, Jerry. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man, huh?
What happened
just-
there? What happened there?
What happened there is
Smackdown.
what happens in this business all the time. Okay, it happens in this business all the time, and people wonder why I'm so fucking jaded about it. All right,
Okay.
you know, you got these guys who you, me, and everybody in this room made rich. Okay, we made them rich, and then they play games with your personal schedule. They play games with your emotional attachment to the business and your love of the sport, and they take you for granted. And if they don't feel like it, they'll cancel on you and not bat an eye about it. Whether it's Jerry Lawler, whether it's Jesse Ventura, whether it's fucking Skinner, whether it's whoever. Yeah, I'm still mad at you, Steve Kern, and I've heard
Oh,
you're a dick
Jesus.
too. I've heard that too. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, they don't care. That's why I laugh at some of the purists out there who are like, you know what? I'm so past it. We've all lived long enough to know that we're all people at the end of the day. This idol worship shit flew out the window with me decades ago.
Oh yeah, I hear you.
Decades ago. I'm
Yeah.
so tired of it. You know, just because you were a pro wrestler or just because you played for the Jets or just 'cause I don't give a shit. How are you as a person?
It reminds me of that
Suck.
Right.
that question.
I'm gonna say you
Yeah,
suck.
well, last week, Joe, you when we were all together on Wrestling Remembered, you asked, who are you looking forward to meeting? And I pretty much said, I don't really care because, it's when you meet your idols, we all know what happens. I mean,
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right. I got
So
a great.
let's talk about. Let's talk about more.
Story. Joe, give me a second on this.
No,
one.
go ahead,
There's a
go ahead.
great story I want to throw in here about being careful when you meet people that and this is really where it started for me. I somehow had become friendly with Wesley Walker from the Jets, and he asked me to come see him at a signing. And the Jets had just drafted this kid, Keyshawn Johnson. Okay,
Right.
so he was sitting next to Wesley, and when I got there, Keyshawn couldn't have been more rude. He had not even caught a damn pass in the NFL yet. He wouldn't look you eye to eye. He slid the photo back at you like you've inconvenienced him. And I walked around the table and I said to Wesley, I whispered in Wesley's ear, I'm like, Wesley, what's his problem? And he goes, oh, that's easy. He's an asshole. And Wesley, who had been a multiple-time Pro Bowler, and I think to this day is still second all-time in receiving yards for the franchise of the New York Jets, he was treating Wesley like, who the F are you? So basically, that's when I had, right away, I had enough of this. I was like, you know something? I'm never, ever, ever going to ever look at any of these guys like they're better than me, because they're not. They might be fortunate, or they might have been given a God-given talent to kick a ball or to catch something or whatever. Good for them. But if you're a douchebag, you're a douchebag.
Yeah, that's horrible. That's horrible.
So, I mean, as far as Jerry goes, Jerry left us high and dry, in my opinion. I'm like, what the fuck? We made a booking. I mean, the biggest reason why I was coming to New York was because Mike and I were thrilled about getting the chance to talk to Jerry Lawler.
Yeah.
And he basically obviously didn't mean shit to him, So what does that say about the people who put the money in the pockets of these legends? It says that very few of them are appreciative. There's very few John Cenas. There's very few Derek Jeters. There's very few of those. And there's very few of them in wrestling too. It's
That's
all
too
the
bad.
same. It's unfortunate, but I'm a realist, and that's the reality of it.
Well,
You
I
know?
hear you. I get you. I just wanted to talk about happier things and why your flight got canceled.
Oh, you prick. Unbelievable. Well, Joe, you are a journalist. I'll get out. Now I understand you're a journalist, too. I mean, how many hats do you wear over there? Hit the swirly lights. Confuse me for a while. As far as oh, dear God.
I just want to make sure there's no bad weather coming.
Something made me wake up in the middle of the night last night, and I don't know why, but I heard this voice in my head. I hear voices in my head. You like what I did there? I was like, you know something? I better check my emails. And Delta had the balls in the middle of the night to cancel, push back the flight, and I completely lost my crap.
Are you kidding me?
Because there was money invested in me coming out there, and I had an open window to get the damn money back. Jerry had canceled. And I thought to myself, screw this shit. It was very, very frustrating. And then when I tried to rebook, they had the balls to up the price of the ticket to get to New York. I'm like, wait a minute, this is your fault. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
crazy.
so basically, I dealt with machines, instead of people, and I found that to be quite disgusting. So,
Oh, man.
at the end of the day, I don't get to see Mike. I don't get to see Bart from Wisteria Hall. I don't get to do, a lot of things that, it really sucks.
That sucks.
It is what it is. But you asked, so there you go.
But hey, you get to grace the 30 with your presence, so we all win in the long run. There
Well,
you
I
go.
appreciate that, but we've been talking about bowling.
Bowling, that's right, baby.
What the hell?
Handle pens at
Not
yeah.
even the new
did
type.
Mike type in losers? I'm out of here when we were doing that because I want to blame him.
All right, you know what I've been watching lately? Reruns of The Love Boat. I gotta love this Pluto TV, man. I am hooked on this Love Boat shit. I'm telling you.
Worse, I mentioned that bowling is bad.
Whoa.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Laverne and Shirley, Three's Company, Happy
You know what?
Days.
You're
I
gonna,
am
you're gonna make me do it. Exciting and new.
Come aboard.
Hey, Benny.
We're expecting you.
Oh my God, help me, man. I love that show. What can I
Yeah,
say?
it's for some reason I find it very addicting. I don't know if it's the universe and the stars, but I got to hear that song almost daily now. It's like, man, it's just something as a kid.
Right.
I mean,
I think Reggie Jackson was on one of the episodes.
I'm sure he was. Yeah, he did some acting. Joe Namath was on the one I just watched the other night.
The Hulkster was too.
Who
Do
was?
you guys remember Love
Logan.
American Style, or is that before your time?
No, I remember Love American Style.
Oh,
but
Love
I
That was a
think-
great show. Friday nights.
Well, isn't that where That Girl and Happy Days and all that stuff came from?
Right.
Didn't they come from those shows? Didn't they drive from those
You know
shows?
what? I don't know offhand, to tell you the truth. I don't know offhand.
Love American Style always had those small skits. I think That Girl started on that.
No,
And
that
then-
girl actually started like in the mid '60s.
60s. And
But I
she's
think
still
a couple of
kicking.
shows
Marlo
did spin
Thomas
off
is
from
still-
Love American Style.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching Laverne and Shirley the other day, and I'm like, shit, they're all dead. That's the reality part of that.
Whatever
Michael
happened.
McKean's alive. That's the only
Whatever
one.
happened to shows where we could all laugh at each other's backgrounds and
Yeah,
we don't have that anymore. One of my favorite things I've ever seen was on All in the Family when for some reason Edith invited the Jeffersons over for dinner and Archie was appalled, and it turned out that George didn't want to come, so she brought her brother. And what color Jesus was came up. I mean, this stuff today you could not do.
Well,
okay?
All in
And
the
it's
Family, All in the Family pushed the envelope back then. They covered everything.
It was hilarious because they start arguing what color Jesus was, Archie and Louise's brother. So Archie pulls out, the classic picture of Jesus on a prayer card, and George's brother or whatever pulls out a black Jesus, and Archie looks at him and goes, "Well, there's only one answer to that."
Yeah.
And the other guy goes, and they both stand up and they're giving each other raspberries. Why can't we joke like this anymore?
Yeah,
What happened?
I know, it's crazy.
That was
happened to
entertainment.
us?
I remember when what was it? One episode, Meathead's friend came over for dinner. They found out he was dodging the draft.
Yeah, he went to Canada. Right.
And Archie was plugging away and asking him questions, and
Right.
he was just lying through his teeth. And
I mean, do you really think that Polish Americans back in the 70s tuned out because he called him a Polak a bunch of times?
no
Come
kidding.
on, what is going on here that we can't crack jokes at each other anymore?
I don't get it. Where the hell was the peanut butter allergy back then? What the hell? That's the shit I can't stand. I chaperoned one of my son's field trips to the Red Sox game one night. I'm putting this kid on the bus, and the father looks at me and goes, "Oh, by the way, he's got a peanut allergy. Make sure he doesn't go near any peanuts." I go, "Are you a friggin' idiot? Do you know where we're going? We're going to the ball game. What is more synonymous with Fenway Park besides hot dogs? Peanuts! Come on, people. Come on."
Right.
If the peanuts here.
Very sad. But then again, what's even sadder is the price of things at a ballpark. I don't even
Oh.
bother anymore. I'll just starve. I don't
No,
care.
what kills me is they don't even take cash at the ballparks anymore. That's the part that always kills me.
That's such a scam. I hate that. I don't want to be a part of any business that doesn't take cash. Such a
Bruce,
scam.
do you have anybody in the chat that wants to ask us anything? I mean, we could. I would love to get some questions if anybody's out there wants to ask anything. That would be great.
Okay, all of a sudden I see the lava lamp has been turned off.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
It was getting kind of hot.
It's getting hot in here.
Oh, you have no idea how hot it is in here. Oh my God! I mean, it was warm today in Florida. I'm like, ugh.
We had
It is
70
what it
degrees.
is.
We're down
Yeah,
at
John,
60.
John Will said Fred Sanford
almost
meeting
did
Archie
something.
Bunker would have been great.
That would have been epic. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, I had talked to Phil a couple of days ago about, you know, when I thought I was still coming up to New York. I looked at the guest list for the big event, and I said to Phil, I got to be honest, the only person I want to meet is Jimmy Walker.
Yeah.
AJ Walker, yes.
Dynamite.
Yeah.
And then
Well,
Well,
no,
no,
hey, the other one
no.
they announced today is Raj from What's Happening is going to be there, so that's pretty cool
Is
too.
he still
Yeah.
alive? Raj is still
I'll
alive?
pass.
What about Rerun?
I
Is
would
Rerun
love to
still
see
No,
alive?
those
rerun's
two.
gone.
Yeah,
He
rerun's
died early.
gone.
Ken Berry was
Who
that
was
his
the
name?
the little
Shirley's
sister's
gone
name?
too.
Shirley
Shirley
Hemphill,
went a long
yeah.
time ago.
Right.
Mom's gone, right?
Oddly enough, I think Mr. Evans from Good Times is still alive.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
John Amos is still, yeah.
Yeah, he's
He's
great.
very,
I think he's
very,
pretty
very
The
ageless.
whole cast still
can I-
alive? They're all.
Can I puke out loud about what Stacy Keebler is charging?
No.
We talked
Yes,
about
please
that.
do.
It's
And how much she got to appear? That's ridiculous.
$499.99 plus tax, something like that.
It's complete madness. Anybody who pays that is the ultimate mark.
I
I'm
don't get it.
sorry.
She's
okay?
charging $10 per inch of leg.
Right, right.
She's got 48-inch legs.
It's absolute insanity. And you know what really bothers me? But Mike knows this anyway. She's not a Hall of Famer. But after some of the names I've seen going in, she is. What the hell's going on here?
Jimmy,
You know,
my
I don't
question.
understand these. I don't
What is she
understand
in the
this
Hall of
class.
Fame for, though?
I don't. In my opinion, not much. I
For
don't
dating-
think that she did.
She's
too
in the Hall
much.
of Fame for
What was
dating
it?
George.
Is there a great Stacy Keebler match or a great,
No.
Stacy Keebler promo?
No,
I don't remember any.
Is she related to the elves?
No, that's in Whitman, Massachusetts now. You know that, Phil.
Yeah, I know. The
Keebler,
Keebler elves.
Hey,
can't
Jimmy, you know what I
tell me
was
with a
saying?
straight face that Tori Wilson's a Hall of Famer either. I
Yeah.
no way.
You know, What I'm trying to scratch, what I'm trying to scratch my head at with this whole Stacy Keebler autograph situation, both sides of the fence. How can you actually go out and push that it's going to cost you $500 for an autograph? And on the flip side, how can Stacy Keebler even justify signing her name for $500? I just don't see it. I just don't see that.
It all comes back to ego and not caring one iota about fans. Okay, it gets
crazy.
back to my previous rant about how most of these folks in the business are, and it's every business, it's every
Right.
sport. They all, and let me tell you, if she
$500
makes money,
bro.
if she makes money and they get big long lines, I give up. Okay, because that is absolutely a joke.
So what's
I mean,
that make
this
Hulk
started-
Hogan's autograph? Hulk Hogan should be
You know,
charged $500.
Hulk Hogan is cheaper than her.
Yeah, Hulk
I know
Hogan
that. I know
is
what you're saying.
like between 250 and 300 right now.
Right, and quite honestly, worth every single penny. And I don't say that about too many people. All right, I
Right.
won't. You know, I'm completely.
Well, there's
against
some
outrageous.
significance there. There's significance there.
Oh my
know
God,
what I mean?
significance. That's the Babe Ruth of his
Yeah, no kidding.
generation.
Yeah.
Hey, I got Bruno
I mean,
Sammartino's autograph right before he died. I mean, I didn't expect him to die, but at least he signed one of his
Right.
ring robes, you know. So,
Right.
but I didn't pay.
I
I
will
didn't
give-
pay
I will-
$500 for that.
will
I
give
paid
Ric
zero
Flair the-
for my
I will
Bruno
give Ric
autograph.
Flair- I will give Ric Flair the credit for this. Ric Flair has multiple times said Hogan's the man. Okay. Yeah. I mean, he said it himself. He was just like, I was known, but Hogan was known in every part of the world. Didn't matter where it was. He was always like, I'm world champion, but I'm world champion of what? Compared to what Hogan was doing with the global phenom that became what we know today as the WWE. It all comes from Hogan and Vince McMahon's shoulders. Everything that they stand on today comes from those two guys. I'm sorry.
Well, let's
If
do
you
the-
don't like it out there, you're rewriting history. That's all there is to it.
Let's do the
So
flip
that's
side
the
on
way it
that.
happens.
If you take away Hulk Hogan, is there a Ric Flair? If there was, no Hulkamania,
Right.
do
If
you
you
think
ta-
Ric Flair would have been that guy to
If you,
transcend?
take, if you take away Hulk Hogan, everybody else gets diminished somewhat because the business boomed.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Period.
So that helps Ric Flair then.
Of course, Hulk Hogan has. It makes me laugh when people are like, "Oh, he wouldn't give up his spot." Do you know how many people Hulk Hogan put over in his career?
It's
Start
crazy.
thinking about that. The Warrior, Goldberg. I could go on and on
The
about
Rock,
the
yeah.
guys. And
Lesnar.
Hulk Hogan, right? The Rock. I mean, the guys that Rock was over already, but it made him Rock even more over.
He
You
even
know what
put
I'm saying?
Sylvester
I mean,
Stallone over. Come on, he put Rocky over.
right. I mean, even Stone Cold
Well, that
regrets
was a
not
draw.
working with Hogan. Didn't Stone Cold himself publicly kind of apologize to Hogan that they couldn't work things out back when Austin's ego was not in check?
Yeah,
You know
they
what I
came out
mean?
together
Like,
in
I'm
New
not working with Hulk Hogan, blah, blah, blah. He regrets it. That would have been a killer program.
Yeah.
You know, it would have been. It would have been unbelievable to have an NWO Hogan going against Stone Cold. That would have been fantastic. You
Yep,
know, and I
agree.
remember having arguments with guys back before Hogan's match with The Rock. Everybody was calling Hogan the guy that killed WCW. No, that was a guy named Vince Russo. Okay.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
not Hulk Hogan. Get the fuck out of here. And I remember arguing with people that had the balls to tell me before Hogan Rock, Hogan is poison. No one's ever going to cheer for Hogan again. Hogan is finished. Where were they? The day after Hogan Rock at WrestleMania, I believe it was 18. You should have seen me walk into that office and laugh at everybody. I'm like, oh, so he's not over, huh? You realize that what that was like Messier coming back to play for the Rangers?
Of course. Yeah.
You have any idea what that was? They refused to boo a hero. They were like, you know what? You're supposed to be the bad guy, but 70,000 plus are saying, screw tradition. We're rooting for you, Hulkster. And I thought that was just, it's very rare that I'll get like emotional about something in a sporting event, but I got emotional that night.
Right.
Because I was there
Yeah.
when Hogan was a bad guy with Blassie.
Yep.
I was there for me. I was there for all the things that he did over the years. And I was always very appreciative of Terry Bollea. He is the Hulk. He's the Hulk. That's all there is to it, you know. But of course, we had to make sure we smear him real good because that's what we do nowadays. So
build them up and tear them down.
Right.
Maria Davis wants to be put over. Maria Davis wants to be put over.
She is. I'll put her over anything.
Maria Davis has more it factor than Mercedes Moné will ever have.
You know, I got to say this. I told Baby Cakes this the other night. Maria Davis is probably one of the most educated wrestling fans I've ever associated with on social media.
Yes.
She knows her stuff. She knows her
There you
stuff.
go. She also
You know,
has it.
and-
All right, as far as it factor, she's interesting to listen to too, and she's got a good
Yep.
look.
Oh, really?
She should have been in the business. I could see her cutting promos left and
Yeah.
right for somebody.
Wow.
Manager.
There you go.
Why not? Why not? With you got
Why not?
Stacy Keibler in there and Tori
Ah.
Wilson. What are we talking about here? You know,
Yeah.
and this Bull Nakano shit. I'm sorry. No. What do you want, Bull Nakano? I asked Mike, tell me all your memories of Bull Nakano. He's like, next question.
Right.
Exactly.
What the F are we doing with this? You know,
Very underwhelming.
My question is, what kind of speech is she going to give? Like, what the hell can she say?
I don't know. You know what she should do? She should do this. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that should be good.
And just
There's a little echo right there. Yeah.
Latka. There you go. Nice.
it's an absolute mess, you know. Phil, I wanted to mention that I gotta take umbrage with you over how dare you want the great Seth Rollins to come to an end? What's wrong with you?
I know, man. I know you love him. I do. I love him as the architect. I love him as the Shield.
Does
I
he
love him
turn
as-
at WrestleMania though? That's the question.
That's a good question. We can hope.
To
I
double
want to see
cross,
the
double
Shield come
cross.
back. I want to see the Shield come back. Of course, could that happen?
He used that term. Did he use that term with
Yeah.
Cody? I'll be your shield.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
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 Right. Well, you
There's
know what
always that reference.
what I had been thinking when he said that, you know who came up with that idea, and you know who was in the company and still is in the company currently? That's CM Punk. And I
Yeah.
thought to myself, wouldn't that be very interesting if Reigns, Rollins, and Punk became
Formed
the
the
new
new
Shield?
Shield.
Yeah.
Could you imagine how cool
might-
that would be?
That might drive Moxley back to the bottle if that ever happened. Jeez.
Yeah,
You know what?
imagine
That
that.
would, that would be on John for deciding to work 10 times as hard and be paid half the money. He's an
Yeah.
idiot.
Yeah.
all right?
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
the
the
guy
poor
kills
guy.
himself. And by the way, those are the worst punches in the
He
business.
takes a beating.
Oh, I just don't.
No,
get
the
it.
punches he throws are horrible, Phil. Help me out here.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah. Less is more when it comes to that too. Even with punches in general, 10
Yep.
shots and no one's phased. Come on,
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy.
It is. There's an art to
Right,
punching, and you're
right.
exactly right. And it should be
Right.
used judiciously.
It's really. I love watching wrestling with Karen, but it's really hard for Karen to watch when she sees how these guys throw punches. Because
Oh yeah.
everything comes from the head.
Same here, Jimmy. Me and Baby Cakes will watch it. And I'll be like, "This is like pain. I can't do this."
So,
and I
so
have to watch it. 'cause
hey,
I-
Jason's
you know, I
got a
wanna-
question. He said, "Isn't Seth Becky's wife?"
I believe so. She's the man.
Wow.
Oh, there you go. There you
That's
go.
rough.
Seth Lynch you're talking about, right? No.
Oh boy. Hey, here's a
Sorry.
good question: who's the biggest star, Becky Lynch or Seth Rollins?
I say
Becky
now, right now,
Lynch.
Seth.
Becky, maybe.
Well,
I don't know.
Right now,
No,
Seth-
I agree. I mean, I think Becky's a bigger star than Seth. That's no knock on Seth. He's one of the top 3 guys in the company. But I mean, in my opinion. But yeah, Becky's a bigger star. Very interesting. Times have
she
changed.
makes more too, though.
Mike was ahead of the curve way before I was, as far as it goes with the women wrestling. But
Yeah.
I'm there now. I mean, if you're great, I dig you. I always love Charlotte, and I do like Becky.
Charlotte.
And if you have it, all good. And clearly Becky has it. So,
Good.
what's this now? Hold on though. Clear this up for me because I didn't catch it. Are you guys telling me that Bailey was there when Monet made the debut?
Yeah.
Bailey, Naomi,
Tamina.
and Tamina were up in the rafters.
Bailey,
Bailey,
you're fired.
yeah, and Naomi was there too, and so was Tamina Snuka.
Everybody's fired.
They're all
I mean,
cool. Jimmy, I got to go back to 2019, 2020, right before COVID hit. I went on the air and purposely said out loud, because I knew this day might come, I honestly believe, and people still think I'm crazy for this, Bill After will even note this, I still think in some crazy roundabout way that the WWE and the AEW are working together. I think they went out of their way to work together because COVID, don't forget, wrestling saved COVID. Wrestling had a resurgence during COVID, even though it was all those empty arena matches, but they had to come together for business. I'm telling you, I think there's something there. I've always said it. I've always said it.
I really hope that you're not subscribing to. Vince Russo just said that
No.
Vince McMahon is secretly planning on buying AEW.
I don't
I
care.
heard that, Salinas, too.
What is with Vince Russo? What is he, like that shithead Cole? He just throws shit
Ow.
against the wall and then sees if it sticks.
He's got a lot of
Yeah.
fans, and
Bro.
the fans listen to him.
Bro,
That's what
bro.
it is. Yeah.
Listen, bro.
Pretty sad.
Bro.
Bro.
Bro. Listen,
What's up,
bro.
Bruce, bro?
Bro. I
can't-
tried to get him on the What A Day show the other day, and he emailed me back, says I just don't have time enough doing interviews. But yet he's
Joe.
fucking yapping with everybody online going. I'm like, dude,
Joe,
I just
Joe,
want 10
you're gonna
minutes.
let me educate you real quick, Joe, on this. And I mean, as much as you know, and you know a shitload, let me tell you this. You are now associated with Monty and the Pharaoh. Vince
Yes.
Russo will never,
Yeah.
never talk to you
Never.
again. He
Again.
wants nothing
Yep.
to do with you.
Again.
He wants something to do with us. Don't you see how this works?
I know, I
Okay.
get it. I love it.
There's a lot of people out there that want us to just pucker up and idolize and just yes them to death and
Nope.
pay them ridiculous amounts to get their bullshit opinions, and they see us as here's
And
the
they
worst
want-
part for them. They actually know that what we've been doing for years is good.
Do you remember
So
Johnny
it
Most?
really bothers them.
You remember Johnny Most, the legendary Celtics announcer, Johnny Most? You guys remember him at all? He was my broadcasting teacher back in school back in the day. You know what he told me about the first thing about interviews? When you interview somebody, go for the jugular. And that's what I do. I will ask a tough question. I will shit. I will do it. I will do it. So, like I said, a closed mouth doesn't get fed. So
Yeah.
maybe I must be on the right channel if that's the case.
You can't have any fear when you're trying to get the truth out of people. You can't be afraid of what their reaction is going to be. For God's sakes, I watched Marty Jannetty stand up and punch Mike in the face. You know what I'm saying?
Farrell, how many
You can't be
how many
afraid of
times
that
over
crap.
how many times over the years have they tried to tell you what you can and can't ask, and
Oh, yeah.
and how,
Right.
and it's even happened as of recently. Somebody said, "Don't ask about this. Don't ask about Vince McMahon." And what did they end up talking about?
I
Well,
worked for
that's-
I worked for a radio station in Pittsfield years ago, Live on a 5.5. I had to interview Tony Braxton for an upcoming show, and they go, Joe, you got to kill 2 minutes. What are you going to ask her? I go, I don't know. I'll ask her about the show. Oh no, she already answered that. All right, you dating Curtis Martin of the New York
Right.
Jets? And I did. She answered me.
Formerly of the-
She answered me. The phones light up. That's her first public confirmation that she's dating Curtis Martin. I get in People magazine and a little blurb saying that, some Joe DJ from Pittsfield. You got to ask the tough questions. I'm not here to sit here and say, oh, how are you? I'm a big
Right.
fan. I'm going
Right.
to ask you the questions.
Right.
And
And it's
I think
really
I-
funny. it's really funny in the wrestling business where it's all about sleight of hand that they have such a problem with, this sort of thing. It's like, what are you talking about? You fake us out for a living.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? What are you talking about? Notice I didn't say what you do is fake. You
No.
fake us out for a
Right.
living.
Exactly.
Okay, I know the bumps hurt. I have total respect for what these guys do physically. Get the fuck out of here.
I agree.
If anybody thinks that Mike doesn't realize that the pain these guys go, we know all of that.
Yeah.
But when you try to work us, the very people who put the money in your pocket all these years, screw
That's
you.
crazy.
Get out of here.
I agree.
know?
I totally agree.
Let somebody else go and worship your ass because it ain't going to be us. That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
All right, well,
Phil, let me know that I'm blocking. I'm not letting out my true feelings. What do you think?
Tell us how you
You're
really
rather-
feel.
You're a rather subdued Pharaoh tonight.
Yeah,
Yes.
dude, I'm on like 2 hours.
And Joe is quiet as a church mouse too.
What are you talking about? What are you
well,
talking
listen. Hey guys, it's
Oh?
we're getting towards the end of this. We're at a little bit over 3 hours going.
right.
So,
3 hours. Jeez.
yeah.
You've been on the air 3 hours?
We've been
Jesus.
we
3
got on
hours.
at 7, and it's a little after 10.
I got to look
now.
at my contract. I got to see what's up with that. That's overtime. Big
Yeah.
Yeah, well, what are you gonna do?
Jimmy, it was really
Suck
good
it
to
up,
get to talk to you.
Buttercup.
Yeah, Jimmy, it's really good to get to talk to you. We don't get to talk as often.
That's
now.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah,
to have
Jimmy,
you.
this is great.
Want to know when you're coming back to take your title back? Because when you come back, listen, I guess what Dan has would be called the interim title. Because don't you have that true title? Didn't you take that with you?
Well, basically, I never lost it. Let's be
Right.
honest here. I never
Yeah.
lost the title. But
My
I
name
gotta
is
admit,
Joe. I have leukemia.
I got. Oh God. Oy.
He had to relinquish the title. That was my relinquishing title moment.
I got to admit though, if I came back and you guys try to give me a belt, I'd probably hit you with it. I would be like, "Get that thing out of here! I don't want that."
Just
silly
don't
belt.
hit
What is
anybody
the
with that
matter
belt.
with you
That'll hurt you.
guys? But the show's great, and I wanted to thank you guys, all of you, for all the time you guys have put in with the channel. I really appreciate it. I know I'm like, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. I'm like Mr. Private. I'm like Brett Favre. I'm out in the woods chopping trees down or whatever. Because that's me. I'm not very computer, involved, and the business has made me kind of jaded over the years. So I like to make my moments with wrestling and my love for wrestling count. That's why you probably don't see too much from me. So when I'm on, I'm on.
You're on.
But in general, I really do appreciate it. You guys have put in so much time. Bruce, you know how much I love you with all the work you've done. I will never forget when Mike was not well and you drove down and you were not around the corner. You came down for well over a month, I believe, to do shows with me. Benny, you are the best. I love talking to Benny because I just feel like he's a soul brother. Phil, what you do intellectually when I speak to you, holy shit. We talk about everything.
That's great stuff.
I
Yeah.
don't even have to talk to Joe because Joe never shuts up. So basically, I'm just fucking with you, Joe. I mean, but no, Joe, you're fantastic, dude. I mean, obviously, you got a great style. You obviously, if you're probably like me, you probably have studied everything you've ever done and took a look and said, I can fix this or I can make this better or whatever. I can tell how cerebral you are about this and how much you love wrestling. So again, guys, thank you for everything, and thank you too to Dan because Dan's another.
Thank you. Yeah.
Dan's another genius. Obviously, his reign of terror has to stop, though. All
Absolutely.
he does is win and win and win.
I
It
came
makes
up
me
short
sick.
again.
I'm like, oh my God, he's winning.
I'm like the Rudy
He wins all
Diamond
the
of
time.
the 30. I'm the Rudy Diamond
Yeah.
of the 30. I keep losing.
Well, I'm glad Benny has some good title reigns under his belt. I have to say that.
Yes.
I think
Yes.
I've actually won it more times than Dan. I've won 7
Okay.
times.
God, he's keeping track.
You are great.
Twice. I've just won it twice.
Stop.
Yeah, I was an
Nice.
accountant. Jeez.
Oh, okay, all right. Because I was ready to hit the nerd meter. If we're starting out, well, I've won it 7 times. Well, I've had it 7.5. And if Jimmy was around, he would just take the belt from any of. Stop, Guys,
Jimmy,
telling me-
I've come to the conclusion. I think it's fixed. I think this
Oh,
show is
really?
fixed. Yeah.
Well, you do complain like Albano after his protege.
Listen, that referee calls things
ridiculous.
right down the middle.
Ridiculous.
I've noticed that when Joe doesn't win, Joe's outraged. He's just absolutely, you can't console
He
him.
is,
I mean,
yes.
All right, I can fix this.
Oh my God.
Let's see.
I think it's hilarious. I'm like, oh my God, Joe's going to go off. And he's like, what?
Apoplectic.
What? Have you guys tried sending Bruce bribes? How far is
Yes.
that?
Yes. I haven't paid my mortgage in 2 months, Jimmy. This is crazy.
Oh,
I mean,
my.
this is,
I gotta bring some cash with me to see Bruce.
and he's got these brand new shirts he's showcasing. Look at him. Look at Bruce. He's got those look like new glasses, by the way. New hat.
Yeah.
Did the player send you a hooker at least?
he tried to send me one of his playmates, but the problem was
Okay.
when her granddaughter brought her over, she was having trouble getting out of the car. By the time it was done, she had to get back to the nursing home because it was time
and,
for
and her
for
blood
blood.
sugar was low because she didn't have her tapioca pudding.
I thought you were going to tell me that she couldn't fit in the box and they shipped her back. This is just wrong. Sorry, Betty. I can't do it.
Her name was Katie Vick.
So and then
There's,
I gotta say,
by the way, you guys brought that up a couple of weeks ago. That is the only time ever that I actually considered not watching wrestling anymore.
Yeah.
That
I hear you.
really bothered me. I thought that's a line you just don't cross. So I thought
Yeah,
that was
That's crazy.
absolute horse shit.
Yeah. Wrestling Remember. We covered that last week. Yeah. That's right.
Yep, that was brutal. Well,
Yeah.
great job, guys. I really appreciate it. It was great talking to all of you.
All right.
Yeah,
You too,
right
Jimmy.
Right back at you, Pharaoh.
Always a pleasure.
so and listen
All right,
to the
guys.
chat out there. It was great. You guys were awesome tonight. I mean,
Yeah, thank you,
E40,
everybody, for
RJ,
sticking around for
Maria,
3 hours.
Joe,
Damn.
Ja Will, RJ, everybody. Thank you guys. Thank you.
Nice.
And
Foxhole Willie.
Pharaoh.
Maria. Wow.
Maria.
Pharaoh,
RJ Jason.
Maria.
Yeah.
I don't get to say this too often, but Pharaoh, can you take us on out of here?
You've been watching an extended version of The 30, and until next time, later.
Later,
Later.
guys.
What a day.